me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 I'm talking about vibe with the blue. Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward, the battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a miner. It made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wonder why? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly. Worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather. Be weather, be tripping. Starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrink in the frame, ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes drop. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
I have seen everything that has ever happened, ever will happen, ever could happen, and yet, what the hell is this?
Are you ready?
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It is your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter presents. Welcome to episode 268 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse. You can also find on Spotify. You can find us on Google, Timbuktu, pretty much anywhere a good podcast may be found. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Carter, what's going on, pimp? What's going on?
I'm better than I was last week.
That's good.
Still a nasty cough, but other than that, I'm chilling. I'm more so just I'm tripping off the conversation that's being had right now in the chat right now. I didn't realize people had a problem with the girl with the dragon tattoo remake.
Really?
Yeah, according to Devontre, it was ass compared to the OG version.
You know what? Okay, let me take that back.
Mhm.
I actually remember people not liking it. Like it was weird because man, I'll be honest with you. The girl with the dragon tattoo is one of those things that I just could never really fully get into. So like I saw the original first, I cut it off like halfway through, and then like when the new one came, like honestly, I know they're not the same, and I know there's a difference in quality, but to me, they're the same picture. To me, they're the same picture. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Like when she was, even though technically it's not to say old boy didn't deserve it, but like I don't know, I felt unsafe when when she was fucking up old boy. I was like, ooh, no, stop.
I think anybody's ass would feel unsafe if he got a metal rod kicked into it.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, no, ooh.
And I asked in the chat what was wrong with that remake, and Kaiser Q was saying that it needed a sequel. Fun fact, Kaiser Q, it did get a sequel. It just didn't have any of the actors from the remake in that sequel. But
wasn't direct to video?
No, but I know who did it. For all you Xenomorph fans out there, Fede Alvarez did it.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of funny you bring up Fede Alvarez. I actually just saw Alien Romulus last night. Took my mother to go see it. Because that was a favored pastime of ours when I was a kid. Was watching the Alien movies. Yeah. She is largely responsible for why I'm such a huge fan of them.
So let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
Because I've already heard one opinion on it. How did you feel about it?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
All right, that's 2 for 2.
I don't want to say, man, the thing I could say about it, I'm not gonna say because it would actually be a spoiler to anyone that like had any knowledge of any Alien sequels. But I will definitely say it takes some things from previous sequels that didn't work and actually does them better. And the facehuggers have never been more terrifying to me. It was facehuggers have never been more terrifying to me, like ever in life.
I was told that, like, man. So this person that saw it, they said when they were in their theater, and it was packed, and there were so many situations where you just, if it wasn't one thing, it was another one. I was told where you just felt like he said everybody in his theater was just. It was just a lot of that in the theater.
It's like, oh man. Because every time you like, that's one thing I'll say about the movie that I really like is that it like, okay, it has a slow start. It has a very slow start, but it's because it's getting you, as any good horror movie should, is getting you accustomed to the characters, so that way you care about them. And that you also understand why some of the characters don't like each other, why some of the characters get along, why some of the other characters kind of lukewarm on each other. And, you know, and that way you kind of understand the dynamic. But once that shit gets going, bruh, like, yeah, it's like literally, you remember that movie Deep Rising?
Yes.
Remember how the tagline of that movie was Treat Williams every time he would just be like, now what? That's basically that's basically the audience every time, because it's like literally every time you think, okay, all right, the word, okay, this has happened, okay, oh come on, oh man, dude, they got to do this shit now, oh man, okay, they got out of that, bruh. Like there were multiple moments in the movie where I was like, yeah, see, if I was in the situation, I just would have retired my own jersey right there. We ain't getting out this. I'd be like, we ain't getting out this. We're not getting out of this. I was like we're dead. We're dead. We're like what was it that Hudson and Aliens? Game over, man. That would have been me. That'd have been me. Like imagine like that. Like honestly, I kind of feel like that was the audience. The audience was like, man, game over, man. Game over, man. Because every time the motherfuckers got through some shit, it was some more shit. It was just like, oh, man, come on, bro. I'm just trying to get out. But no, that's all I'll say about it. I will definitely say, very good movie. Man, I think this might be one of my favorites. Like, and I know the Alien franchise has been kind of slapdash over the years. Not really had any bangers since Aliens, but I would definitely say I would put it up there. Like, but I would even say maybe even playing more on the horror element of the original film, like, but taking it to the next level. Because it's technically, this isn't a spoiler, this is public knowledge. It's more of a direct sequel to the first Alien.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Better than Covenant?
Oh God, yes. But yeah, one thing I'll say about it, it does acknowledge that Prometheus and Covenant happened. Like, it does acknowledge those things, but it's more direct sequel to Alien. Like, none of this is yeah,
and I wouldn't even. Only reason I brought up Covenant was because that was the last one I'd seen. Because I took a date to go see Covenant, and we were both just nobody wanted any action that night. Like, we were just both like, that movie was just that bad. Like, she wasn't in the mood, and I wasn't in the mood. Like, bro, no. Show me your Magic the Gathering collection, man.
That's
so okay.
It's like, man, you got any Pokemon cards? Yeah, some, I don't know. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think it did everything that I wanted out of though I will say if there's any one criticism I have of it, by the time you get to the end of the movie, it wasn't to say that I was bored, but I did notice, I was like, oh shit, this is still, I thought we were done. I thought we were out. And I was like, oh, okay.
2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. I'm gonna look it up just to get the full. Yeah, it's like, it's okay. It's just under two. It's literally a minute shy of 2 hours. And usually, by and large, it's not to say Alien movies haven't been that long before, but it was one of those things. When it got to the end, I was kind of like, okay, all right, well, I guess we're wrapping up. And I was like, oh nope, still going. Still going. But it was good. It's like, it wasn't a bad thing. It actually was still fun, but it's like the stress levels. I was like, okay, I'm ready to not be stressed out anymore.
Gotcha.
I'm ready to not be stressed out anymore, because I feel for everybody here. This is I was like, man, I hate it for anybody who has like heart problems. But no, we got some stuff to talk about today. We got some stuff to talk about today, and but before we do, because we got a couple things. Got a couple things that we need to hit before we go all in. Got a couple of things. First and foremost, man, just hold. I gotta take a sip of some water before we do this. Because we're starting off right. This was a little bit further back, so I wasn't able to. It was actually before I opened Social Ninja to be able to capture chat. But we have got Gearless Mo coming in hot. Says, let's get this started with the jingle. Thank you, Gearless, for that. 1999. Super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you, King. I want actually, and yeah, I'm gonna say that, and I'm also gonna issue an apology in the same breath. There was an announcement I wanted to make today, but due to a lot of factors that kind of fell in my lap at the last minute this week, some of which are actually probably going to occur while we are live. So I think we kind of loosely talked about the previous cave that we're going to be doing. We're going to be gearing up for another giveaway. We are, and I guess, you know what, I'll say this much about it, because I didn't actually get to prep it like I wanted to. So we're going to kick it off. We're gonna kick it off next week. Next Saturday is when we're gonna kick it off. But we're gonna be doing another.
Kicking off. You mean kind of like Gearless Mode kicking off this gifting 20 fucking memberships?
Yeah, already? Yeah. Good God, yeah. I just saw. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, what are you doing? What's happening? God damn. But no, in all seriousness though, thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it. But yeah, man, it's gonna sound like complaining, and it really isn't. But like, sometimes things just happen, and they're all good things. They're all fun things. But man, sometimes those things happen, and it's stuff that is directly as a result of this channel. And sometimes I'm just like, actually, that was me. So like how Alien Romulus, we were just talking about Alien Romulus, how the main, all the characters, main characters, side characters, whatever, is like every time they turn up, something's happening. That was me this week. It was like every time I looked up, something was happening. So yeah, that kind of factored in a good bit into this. But no, we will be kicking it in. I guess the giveaway, we're gonna be kicking it off in earnest, pun intended. This next Blerd Cave, and want to add, this time we're gonna sweeten the pot a little bit. So we're gonna give some more details as time passes. But another thing I was also going to say too is that I actually have come into a couple of other things that I'll save those for after. I'll save those for when we do the official announcement. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. It's going to be great. I think you're going to really like this. I think you're going to really like this giveaway. We've put a lot of thought into it. We also got Gokhan Sure His Baby's Father out here with the 5. Says, man, just got done a 3-hour workout at the gym, on the massage chair right now. Got a shape up appointment later. What up, Cave? Hit the damn likes, y'all. Hey, look, I'm just saying, y'all need to do that, please, and thank you, please and thank you. Like I said, we are, I think, we're just getting started. We got 164 people. I see 82 likes. The math ain't mathin'. The math is not mathin', so we need to fix that. We need to address that. In the words of Morgan Freeman in Lean on Me, expeditiously. But no, I guess let's go ahead and get into our main thing. Carter. let's do this, man. Okay, so the Crow remake. It's not out yet, but it will be next week, I believe. Next week, I believe, is the day. As last I checked, yes. August the 23rd, 2024, in the year of our Lord of the Rings, you will be able to see Bill Skarsgård. Apologies, y'all. Forgot to silence my phone. Was getting notifications that books are on Global Comics right now. Which, by the way, link in the description if you want to get 33% off your 1-year subscription. That said, Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise himself, playing the Crow, and it's, man, you know, this should be a layup. This should be a layup, Carter. This should be easy money. Easy money. Because Bill Skarsgård is a good actor. You got you a good actor. You got you a solid guy. You got you a dude who can play weird characters. You got a guy who's like this man's an actor's actor. Like, this is like, you have when people say, oh, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Mm. That's, this guy's an actor. He's that dude. He's that dude who's like, he throws himself to the craft to the craft of acting. You know, very method. He just, he has a way about him that, you know, you would think like, oh man, Bill Skarsgård is the Crow. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. We might like when I had no hope for a Crow reboot, you know, initially, but I was like, man, yeah, this could be something. This is, you know, maybe he could be somebody. You know, maybe this could be about somebody. Unfortunately, I think that I think we're gonna have some problems. Like, I saw somebody bring this up in the chat. You know, Seattle KO brought up, this was almost Jason Momoa's. You are correct. It was actually almost a couple of different people, but Jason Momoa was like, I think probably one of the more high profile actors. Like, to the point people were even making mock-ups of him as the Crow. Because it's two things people have in their Photoshop presets for Jason Momoa. It's Lobo, and the Crow. And the weird part is, it don't matter which one this is.
It don't. They look exactly the fucking same.
It's the same picture.
Hearing that he was supposed to be the Crow, I could already hear the Twitter fingers just going ham about how that's supposed to be Lobo. Y'all need to make that Lobo. He'd be a great addition to Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh my God.
Snyder Cut universe. Because that's all that looks like. That's just the main man right now.
Yeah, no, that's 100% the main man. That's 100% the main man. And it's funny to me because I don't know why this. I don't know the full story on. I don't know the full story on why it fell apart. Not 100% at least. But man, this was some interesting thing. It was some interesting stuff to kind of learn about. But basically, if it's not obvious, I mean, like I said, this is actually a remake of The Crow, even though technically it was said originally that it wasn't really a remake, but now it's pretty much accepted that it's a remake. It's a remake all the way down of the original with Brandon Lee. But I don't know, man. I've gotten so many mixed messages about this whole thing. But like, you got Bill Skarsgård, of course, as the Crow, and you've also got old girl FKA Twigs as the love interest. She's gonna be playing Shelly, who Man, look, this is no spoil. This is no spoiler. Y'all know she gonna get clapped. That's the whole story. This is her. She has one job: get clapped. And from what I remember hearing was kind of alarming is that like, oh, this is gonna be more of a romance movie. It's like, nah, man, I don't need that. I don't need that. We don't need this. Look. If you really, because here's the thing, you want to know, Carter? Do you know why people like the original Crow?
I can think of several reasons. Yeah.
Give me yours. I'm curious what yours are.
That gave those outsiders and alternative living individuals, like it gave them their Superman. To a sense, like something's I can think of so many Maud Flanders of somebody. Please think of the children when she sees her baby with the face paint all over his face, listening to metalcore that she don't sitting like that,
sitting in the chair, got the duct tape all around their arm,
knowing it's gonna hurt like hell to take it off later, knowing that skin is gonna be good and pale and white.
It's like, man, why'd you use up all my foundation? Why'd you use up all my foundation? You know,
it was more so like looking like a loner or an emo, you know. That gave them like it was more accepted because you have this emo guy, but he's actually like kicking ass and trying to avenge his lady. And see, Mom, that's why I'm sitting in this dark ass room in the corner in the closet. Looking like this, just staring at your ass. That's why I'm doing this.
But you know what it is? It's like, but see, the thing is, that's how you thought you looked. But that's what you really look like. This was the actual.
With a lot more dandruff in your head.
Yeah, you just looked unwashed. Is what that was. You look like you had not bathed in like a month. Is what that was. Like you thought, you show up at first period algebra, and you thinking like when you sit in that desk, and everybody just stared at you. You like, yeah, see, look at me. Yeah, that's right. I'm different. I'm built different.
That took time. Go to that other one.
And then you'd be like,
you just woke up in the morning and just did that in the bathroom.
You just got up. You literally got up 5 minutes before school and just walked out the house. That's what that is. That and you ain't wash your face. That ain't makeup. That's sleepers. That's the sleepers just pouring down the eye. Looking like looking like crackhead Ronald McDonald. But no, that was a thing. That was a thing. Oh man, this has ashy dry. But no, I mean you're right though, because I feel like a lot of people really fucking love The Crow. Like I loved The Crow growing up. It's like one of my favorite movies. I thought it was so fucking cool. Like I never tried to, obviously, because you can't. If I put on a bunch of white makeup, people just gonna say white face. But
they gonna say, oh, you cosplaying one of them folks from Dead Presidents.
Oh, that you know what? That is actually true. Man, I actually kind of. I was actually, it's wild too, because I was literally just like thinking about watching that the other day. I was like, ooh, Dead Presidents. But no, they would thought I was a juggalo. That's exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Disgusting.
They'd be like, hey man, you want some Faygo? Nah, I don't. No, I don't drink Faygo at all. But no, I mean, you look at, and even if you go to the comics, it was good stuff. The comic is a bit edgelord, and that's why I kind of think that, like, when people have been talking about this remake, they say, oh, it looks really edgelord. Let's be honest, this comic is edgelord as fuck. So I mean, that's right up the alley of that might be the one thing that they're doing right, is that they're actually playing up to the edgelordness of the source material. And also, let's not pretend that this motherfucker ain't no edgelord. I mean, motherfucker sitting here rubbing his hands together like an evil supervillain, like doesn't he look like a broke ass Sandman? He look like a broke ass Sandman. I'm talking about comic Sandman. But so I mean, yeah, it's edgelord. It was edgelord that also happened to look cool. But that's where I think we run into a problem here. Is that this don't look cool. This dude just like kind of like that Edward Furlong picture, kind of like this picture. He looked like he just woke up. Either that or he just nasty. He's that type of dude that like he saw the Suicide Squad. He saw that first Suicide Squad. He was like, yeah, can you make me look like this? And the tattoo artist was like, say less. Say less.
That's going to be the new Joker in DC Absolute. You heard it here first.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it will be. That's exactly who it'll fucking be. That's exactly who it'll fucking be. That is like, yeah, I mean, but are we wrong? Have we said anything unfair? Like, I feel like that's a very fair assessment of the whole thing. I feel like that is probably more fair than it deserves. Is that, yeah, this just looks like Joker off off Suicide Squad. It couldn't have been any more. Is like he didn't have like, what was it? What did he have on his forehead? It was like broken or something like that, or some shit. Or yeah, if he had broken tattooed on his forehead, it'd be like, oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. So going from there, I mean, just, yeah, this movie, yeah, you're right. It's not on life support. I mean, it's on life support now, but when this movie like comes out, it will already be as dead as the character is supposed to be. Like, this movie is hurting. It's hurting. Like, it's got low box office projections. And if I'm not here, let's see, I want to pull this up. I meant to actually have this up earlier. It is, I think it says here, says it's looking to have an opening weekend of anywhere between $7.5 to $11 million. Now, I can't tell you much about the space program, but I can tell you this movie costs a lot more than that. This movie is projected to have a budget of $50 million. Now, even as a box office bomb, it could probably, if it is lucky, if it has, maybe even like a little bit of a bump. Yeah, maybe just one little bump. Yeah, maybe one just good solid weekend. Maybe it could make up that 50. But I mean, here's the thing: I don't foresee this movie making its entire budget back, let alone its marketing budget, let alone the cherry on top to make it a successful film.
What marketing?
Well, that's the funny thing.
All of 2 commercials with that same Post Malone song, which is a slap, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's Post Malone and Ozzy Osbourne, isn't it?
Yeah, that song is fire.
Yeah, that's the best part.
But that's literally all I've seen. Maybe a YouTube ad, and this is what played before Deadpool and Wolverine came on.
Mm-hmm. And oh no, they played the trailer before Alien Romulus, and the theater was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Sir Yuri G just kind of pointed out something. This is actually kind of what I was leaning towards. And matter of fact, both Elite X1 and Sir Yuri G, both of y'all have kind of said some things that are fresh, very fresh in my head. Yeah. This movie has got to go between Romulus and Deadpool and Wolverine. Godspeed to the Crow. you ain't coming out of this. You ain't like this. Also, you know what? No. Wait. Oh, because Borderlands made the same mistake. Borderlands made the same mistake. Borderlands came out between Deadpool, Wolverine, and Romulus directly, and I have not seen a bloodbath like that since that time they released that Battlefield game. Or what was it? Or no, was it Titanfall?
No. Okay, you talking about a movie, aren't you?
No, I'm talking about a game.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, what was it? Because I think it was like a Call of Duty. I think it was Call of Duty, and like there was a Battlefield, and they just I think it was a Titanfall game they dumped in the middle of that shit.
Yeah, I know you're talking about now. Yeah, it was Titanfall 2, it was COD, and then they had just come out with like Battlefield 1 or something along the line.
Yeah. And it was just like
no, I thought you were talking about a movie because you said battle, and I thought your ass was talking about that old Battleship movie. You remember that?
Ooh, I forgot about that movie. I forgot about that movie. So that was the one. Was that the one with Rihanna? Was Rihanna in that?
Yeah. I thought you were going with that, but
oh man,
yeah, I do agree with you in the sense of just like you ain't walking out of this. You right. They not walking out of. They're not walking out of the Crow. They walking out of seeing Deadpool and Wolverine again.
Yeah, exactly. You know what they're gonna do? Anyone who bought a ticket for the Crow, they go step up, walk out the theater, and go walk into Deadpool and Wolverine.
Hey man,
and be better for it.
That shit all the time at Paradiso. Walked right out of Paranormal Activity and walked into 3 more. That's how I saw Toy Story.
Goddamn. But like Elite X1 said, better films have missed the mark. Better films like the somebody actually I laid up is kind of tangential to something we were talking about Thursday. It was like, dude, I've seen what was that movie that came out? The Ministry of Gentlemanly Warfare. That movie is fire, and it bombed. It's actually, dude, came and went, dude. Not just came and went. It's considered one of the top 10, actually in the top 2 spot for biggest bomb of this year, and that shit was fire. Furiosa bombed. Fire. Like I said, man, good movies bomb all the time, and this one is not going to be in that category. This is going to be a bad movie that bombed.
They should have did more with Chris Hemsworth, and I think Furiosa would have popped off. And people walked into that movie knowing that, hey, you want to see Thor get his nipples ripped off? Go watch Furiosa. Everybody would have watched.
They would have went. They'd have went.
You know,
yeah. Gentlemanly Warfare, yes, that was Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like I said, fire.
Yeah, some people, I saw somebody describe this shit as a PG version of Inglourious Bastards. Like the PG-13 version of Inglourious Bastards.
I wouldn't even call it that, like, because here's the thing, and I want to make sure I'm correct when I say this, because it's rated R. Like, it's rated R. First off, it's rated R. But the thing is, it's based on a true story. It's so where Inglourious Bastards was played up more for bombast, let's be honest, Inglourious Bastards was played up for shock value. So that I would forgive anyone for seeing that movie and thinking, oh, this is just Inglourious Bastards light. But this one's actually trying to tell a very specific story. They're not trying to over sensationalize. I mean, they have to church it up a little bit. But this is based on a true story. but that's another one I'll tell you. Even though I know some people's mileage with this will vary. Argyle, another movie with Henry Cavill in it. It bombed at the box office hard. But it kind of caught its second legs on VOD. Because, I think
that means nothing nowadays.
No.
Because you remember when the one movie we've always talked about was Dredd.
Yep, Dredd.
Dredd bombed in theaters and then made bank and broke records for VOD and home video. And it meant absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And Careless Mo, you are a sick human being.
Well, what happened?
Because I heard Battle and thought you were talking about Battleship. This motherfucker heard Battle and thought you was talking about Battlefield Earth.
Ooh, that movie's worse.
Ugh.
That movie is objectively worse. Also, real quick, shout out to Aaron Session out here with the $4.99. Says, thank you guys for the content and comic book recommendations. You are welcome. Thank you for being awesome and hooking us up with that super chat.
So let me ask you this,
Hit me.
because you're going over every reason as to. Let me. Okay, here's a better question.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
How shocked would you be
Mhm.
if it actually did something? Me
Man.
personally, I don't think it's gonna do something.
No.
But the thing that's going on in the back of my mind is just because we just had this conversation about Fede Alvarez. And the movie that made me a fan of his, which is one of my all-time favorite movies now, was a fucking remake that he did in Evil Dead. Now, the people behind this movie, just off the trailer, it ain't Evil Dead remake.
Right?
Don't make me laugh, because then I start coughing and it hurts. Don't do that.
Oh, God. You good. Get it out.
So would you be surprised if it does something? Now,
if it make half his budget, I'll be shocked.
yeah, because he needs something at this point. Like,
Oh yeah,
because he had just come out with this movie with the voice actor who plays Archer.
you talking about
he
H.
just-
John Benjamin? You talking about this?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, there you go. He needs something.
yeah
You can't just keep putting your back on that damn clown forever. I wonder how sick he is of constantly being called Pennywise. I always think about that, like him, like a Michael B. Jordan with fucking Killmonger.
Yeah.
That little dude from Game of Thrones that don't nobody like because they act like that was him for real. The little king, Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey, yeah.
Let them folks be a shit like that.
Dude, you know some shit fucked my head up? Like, I knew that the actor that played Joffrey was in Batman Begins, but you know what other movie he was in that I didn't realize?
What's that?
That motherfucker was in Reign of Fire.
I ain't thought about that movie.
Yeah.
That was a movie I ain't had no business being in. What would you rather watch? See, I just told you, don't make me laugh because it's gonna make me cough and it's gonna make me hurt. Would you rather see a Crow remake or a Reign of Fire remake?
Man, give me that Reign of Fire. I would rather see some dragons.
Dragons.
Give me them goddamn dragons. Look, I want to see. And bring back Matthew McConaughey. Bring with that ugly ass beard.
Oh man.
Because I ain't gonna lie, them dragons was nasty. Them dragons was out here.
For a good while, Matthew McConaughey in that movie, I thought was the most gangster white man I had ever seen in an action movie. I had Matthew McConaughey over McClane. I had him just a top tier. Just because of, spoiler alert for a very old ass movie, your asses are probably too young to even remember. Reign of Fire, Matthew McConaughey, Christian Bale fighting fucking dragons.
Yeah.
The coup de grace scene through that movie is Matthew McConaughey on top of this big ass building with an axe,
Mm-hmm.
and then runs full speed, jumps off this goddamn building,
Like
screaming, just screaming his heart out, trying to solo a dragon. Got eaten immediately.
That's what I'm saying. See what you do if you do the remake. Bring that dude back and just have him play the same character, do the same thing again. I would still love it.
Like, that was the coldest way I have ever seen somebody. Like, bro, what the fuck do you think you were gonna do? With that
You
little
knew
ass,
he was
that
gonna
little ass
die.
fireman? You knew he was, but that was the most gangster shit I had ever seen at that time. I bought the game on Xbox, and that game was terrible.
Oh,
but I was
God,
hoping
yes.
I got to jump off something real high with Matthew.
Just come up and be like, like, you know what? That was his Deep Blue Sea. That was his Deep Blue Sea moment. That was his Samuel because like you for a minute I was like, oh man, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? It's nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not
That was more
gonna
like,
do it.
bro, what? Deep Blue Sea was more so, what the hell? Reign of Fire was more so,
What the fuck is he?
what is he doing?
Like but like you think about you like, oh, Matthew McConaughey, he's a star.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna kill off the star. Ooh.
You immediately see that dragon just snap him up real quick and fly off.
It's like they're like, we regret to inform you, this is Christian Bale's movie.
Oh man,
we have it on good authority. He is going to be Batman in the future.
right. But that was a sit your head down moment. You ain't lying.
Oh
You ain't
yeah.
lying.
They say, but get your ass the fuck on up out of here. You what the fuck you think you doing?
Just to bring it back to the Crow real quick. You said this movie cost how much?
$50 million.
And you saying if it makes 25, that will shock you.
If it made 25, it would shock me.
When does it come out again?
Next week. Matter of fact, I want to see something here. Movie releases 2024.
That's exactly what I was doing too.
Yeah.
I want to see, like, what is it going against?
Yeah, that's so as it stands right now, its biggest competition is going to be Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus is his biggest competition. There are no other movies out other than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
All the other movies that could potentially take any money from it, that could draw any money from it, none of them are big. None of them are big movies. And a lot of it's stuff that's going to be coming to VOD, like the Killer remake and what was it? What's this? All these other movies I've never heard of. So like, there's another movie called Blink Twice that's coming out. I don't even think that movie's gonna make a whole heap of a lot of money, and I hate to see it.
Is this something you think would have been better on streaming?
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I say that because more people would probably give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. Here's the good news. There's no other major movie coming out. There's no other major movie coming out while it's in release. Like, everything that's gonna be big is already out. So like, Alien Romulus, Deadpool, Wolverine, those movies are already out. They ain't got to worry about Borderlands because wasn't nobody seeing Borderlands before. They ain't gonna go be seeing it now. And then after that, you don't have another major movie hitting the theater until Beetlejuice, September 6th, which actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's actually, you really ain't gonna make no money.
Well, I will thank you in giving me the title for the Spotify. Blerd Cave number 268. At least you beat Borderlands.
Have you watched any of it? Have you watched any of Borderlands?
I would rather read the back of this pack of sleeping pills.
Ooh, damn, that's sad. No, you do not. So I see. Was Malik? Yeah, Malik King said, "Do I need to watch 3 or Resurrection before Romulus? I don't know when it takes place in timeline." No, you do not. Alien Romulus is squarely between Alien 1 and Alien and Aliens, the second one. So if you've seen either of those, you're good. You don't need to see shit else.
I respect you more if you watch Resurrection.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Resurrection is dumb, but it is funny. Like, it's it's everything an Alien movie shouldn't be. Like, I shouldn't be laughing. Like, Alien movies shouldn't be in so bad as good. Like, when Sigourney Weaver just no looks the basket walking away, I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of them movies.
I mean, you just brought up Beetlejuice, so I mean, if you want to watch Alien Resurrection and get to see some early Winona Ryder before you go watch this new Beetlejuice, you can see that.
Ooh, yeah. I don't even know if I want to see the new Beetlejuice, if I'm being honest.
You know what? When you were saying that, I was thinking it too, because I don't really think that movie is going to do a lot, to be honest with you.
Look. Wait, I want to see something real quick. Who is this? who's on this? Who's on this? Who's the?
I think a lot of, and I think this is this is a very fucked up thing, but I think a lot of people, even though Winona Ryder is in it, even though Michael Keaton is in it, I think a lot of people are gonna see all these previews and think this is Jenna Ortega's movie. And since people are going against Jenna Ortega, nobody want to watch it. No one wants to watch it.
Ain't nobody trying to see that. Ain't nobody trying to see that. I'm not gonna lie. I maintain the same energy as my wife in regards to Jenna Ortega. One day Cynthia just looked at me and she was like, "I'm sick of her," and I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Because she's in everything.
Yeah, see,
she's literally everywhere. Like I'm tired of her." Yes, Tim Burton is over Beetlejuice.
So that's why I think that movie is gonna bomb, is because people all feel like that. So instead of giving everybody else a chance with some of the original actors they bringing in, they still gonna see Jenna Ortega and they not finna give that movie no kind of bite.
Yeah, and that's because for those that don't know, Jenna Ortega plays the daughter of Lydia. Apologies for the graininess of this photo. It was just one I just kind of snatched. But yeah, like you've got most of the cast that everyone except the dad, because the dad did some fuck shit a long time ago. I don't know. Most people don't remember this, but he actually got busted for I think it was either A, having CP, being in possession of CP, or B, being or actually committing being a PDF file. There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, that's why you won't see the dad. You won't see he is. I don't think that motherfucker's been in a movie in a long time because this goes back a ways. But yeah, you got the mom.
Have you watched Schitt's Creek with the
mom?
I
have. Yes, I have.
How do you like this show?
I like it, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, how many seasons does that show get?
I want to say maybe 5, maybe 6.
I feel like it's a joke that like probably shouldn't have run as long as it did. Like I think it's a cool show. Like it's funny, but like I don't know. Maybe I admittedly I've never like 6 seasons. Okay. I feel like it's one of those shows because I was just kind of always in the room when it was on. I felt like, I don't know. I feel like it was one of those shows that like, if it would have ended at season 2, it probably would have been fine. But I still think it's funny. It's not like a show that I just go out of my way to watch. But I mean, I will give it this. I appreciate the fact that it's more of like a really quick, like, okay, in and out. Like it's not, the episodes aren't very long. You just kind of get in, out. It's not trying to like hold your attention for like 5 ever. So like I would be more likely to watch it than not. But I like everyone involved in it is the wilder part. Like the entire cast I think is great. But yeah, it's one of those shows. It's not something I'd go out of my way to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, you are. You just had a movie on the screen that's probably gonna make its budget.
Oh yeah.
I think that's it. I don't think it's gonna do shit else.
No. Actually, I want to see something real quick. I want to see some Beetlejuice. What is the budget for this movie? This movie is. Wait, do they have? Ooh, they are not disclosing their budget. That is. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie. I think I know why they're not I think I know why they're not gonna disclose their budget. Oh wait, here it is. It has a budget of $170 million.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna make that back. Well, I don't know. You know what? Nostalgia's a hell of a drug. But the thing is, nostalgia can only get you so far. I feel like if this movie is Cheeks, it'll get that first weekend, but nothing else. Like the word of mouth will kill it. They're projecting like an opening at 80 million. And see, that's the thing. That's okay. So that 80 million, that's going to be the nostalgia crowd going in, going like, ooh, I love Beetlejuice as a kid. Oh, I want to take my kids to go see Beetlejuice. Or it's going to be that shit. But after that first week and they see that movie, and if it is some Cheeks, ooh, look, I don't look.
like how we went from talking about a movie that most certainly ain't gonna hit nothing on the weekend to a movie that's gonna get just the weekend.
Just the weekend, just the
Yeah.
week. But yeah, but just to get it back though, just to get it back, because there's one thing I kind of want to point out here. I made sure to save this because I thought this was very telling. So James O'Barr, the guy who is responsible for the creation of the comic The Crow, had something very interesting to say about this movie in 2014. Now, granted, this is back when I think Jason Momoa was still attached. I don't know how much of this has changed, and obviously, I think a lot of it has, considering the wording he's using is not the wording they're using now. But he basically said that we're not remaking the movie, which is funny because that's exactly what they're doing. We're readapting the book. They're not readapting the book. My metaphor is that there is a Bela Lugosi Dracula and there's a Francis Ford Coppola Dracula. They use the same material, but you still got two entirely different films. This one's going to be closer to Taxi Driver or a John Woo film. Okay, first off, man,
That's so those
don't even fit.
those don't go together, big dog.
No, they
How
don't
you
go together at all.
Wait, what? Does he realize what he said?
Look, wait a minute. Somehow, the Crow done turned into
This movie gonna be
Lieutenant Tequila.
bad. This movie gonna be bad. If that's what you think, if you think those two things you just named are in the same wheelhouse, this movie ain't gonna go good.
Look, that y'all know who that is? That ain't Brandon Lee. That's Chow Yun Fat. That's Chow Yun
Man,
Fat.
like, think about that. For all you movie buffs, okay, well, for everyone that's not a movie buff and they don't understand how
Yeah.
absolutely stupid that fucking sounds. That's like saying that your film is gonna be closer to like The Godfather, but also Face Off.
No, can't do it.
You,
Can't do it.
you see how fucking stupid that sounds?
It sounds ridiculous. Also, man, dude, you want to hear some wild shit? So here, check this out. This movie has changed hands like they were playing fucking hot potato.
Okay.
So you had Norrington, who was originally going to be the director. Then you had Juan Carlos Fresnadillo. Then you had F. Javier Gutierrez. And then Corin Hardy. All of them were initially signed to direct. Bradley Cooper, Luke Evans, Jack Houston, and Jason Momoa were all cast as Eric Draven at some point or another. And I don't mean like speculated. They were signed on.
Mm.
And then it's about roughly when you get to like 2022, that's when, you know, everything kind of came together. You wind up getting Bill Skarsgård involved. But dude, Bill Skarsgård said something very telling about this movie. I don't know if you heard this, Carter. And if you did, well, then you just did. Bill Skarsgård said that the original ending, the ending that was originally in place for the movie was changed. It was changed to set up a sequel, something that he made very clear he was not a fan of. Now, Carter, do you remember the first Crow movie? You remember the ending of that film?
You're gonna have to remind me because I'm still stuck on this Taxi Driver and John Woo shit. Because that is the dumbest thing.
Honestly, James.
I'm
that
trying to make
statement-
a film, Ernie, that is closer to Rush Hour and a Serbian film.
It's like, come on now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No. Thing is, that statement is the reason why I think don't ask people like James O'Barr. Like, I'm not trying to say exclude the original creators from the conversation, but man, when they give answers like that, don't post them, don't print them. Don't print
I'm
them.
trying to make a movie that's closer to Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead and Teeth.
Wait a minute. So wait, what you're trying to say is we're going to make a cross where this new Crow film It's gonna be a cross between Baby Boy. We're gonna put up against Baby Boy and Slither. That's what we're doing. We're going for that. That's the magic we're shooting for here. Here's the thing. The original Crow movie had a definitive ending. There was no room set up for a sequel. There was no room set up when spoilers for a movie that came out like in the early 90s. But when that movie is over, that motherfucker dead. Like he go on to his reward. There is no matter of fact, even the comic book ends that way, where like if I remember correctly, by the time you get to the end of it, once Eric has reaped his revenge on everyone who was involved with the death of his girl, he just lays next to the grave and seemingly just dies, seemingly. But I mean, obviously, they keep making Crow comics past that point, so obviously not the case. Or at least, I don't know, I never really read anything past the original Crow comic. Anything else after that, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, this is a little bit too much. Unless it was like a feature of the Crow in something else, like a crossover or some shit. But honestly, the reason why the Crow worked as well as it did, the reason why this movie, or not movie, or the reason why the movie worked so well is because, and it's actually one of those few, like, okay, so you're talking about Borderlands, nobody paid any attention to the source material. It's kind of the reason, like they did, but not in a way that mattered. Like, I actually watched the first 45 minutes of Borderlands. I could not make it through it. By the time I got 45 minutes in and Jamie Lee Curtis hit the screen finally, and then I saw she was being like super hammy, like I was like, ooh, baby, what is you doing? What is you doing? No, not like this. Not like this, Jamie Lee. Not after all that shit you done talked. Not after all that shit you done talked about other movies. Oh, no, baby, don't go out like this. Ooh, Freaky Friday must be in some real trouble. Freaky Friday 2 must be in some real trouble, you doing this.
Funny enough, they're shooting it like not that far from where I drove by. And found shit.
Look, that's why she shut the fuck up when she was talking shit about the MCU. She was like, ooh, because she probably got that call from the mouse and was like, you talking shit? Hey, that Freaky Friday shit, cancel the shoot next week. She's like, oh no. Okay, let me shut the fuck up. I'll issue an apology. That's basically what happened. But no, the funny thing about it is that The Crow is one of those rare hits that actually ignores a lot of the source material. Like a lot of the characters are different. Like Top Dollar's not the villain. He is a villain, but Top Dollar is not the main villain of the Crow comic. He's just a random drug dealer. He's not even anybody. I think he's actually, if I remember correctly, I think he might be the first motherfucker that the Crow kills. But all that aside, it's T-Bird who is really the main villain of that comic, but they changed it around. They actually switched a lot of the characters around, they actually melded together different characters that weren't really the same character and kind of mixed and matched some things. And it actually worked out to the movie's benefit. But, and I would even say, even though technically Starship Troopers isn't based on a comic, Starship Troopers is based on a novel. And even Paul Verhoeven said that when he tried to read the novel, when he took on the movie, he said he fucking hated it. He said he thought it was and obviously, rightfully so, that book is pure pro-military propaganda. Is pro-military propaganda of the highest order. I totally get why he didn't like it. So that's why he made Starship Troopers as a satire. But those are the rare exceptions. Like, Carter, remember how we were talking about how excited we were for the Like a Dragon live action show? I'm terrified for it now. Because the people in charge said they did not play any of the games. So they don't really know what the fuck it is they're adapting. And I get concerned. I get concerned when people say shit like that, because it's like, okay, is this going to be the good? Is this going to be like the one or I was like, is this going to be like the 2 or 3 good times where somebody didn't read or play or experience the source material and actually managed?
Isn't that what happened with The Witcher? like not the games, but they didn't read the books because wasn't that something along those lines as well?
Yes, because the
And that's why
games are.
Kylo left?
Yes, that is
Okay.
yes, a lot of yes.
Okay.
Because basically it's like, and here's the thing: first two seasons of Witcher, I think, are pretty damn good.
Mhm.
That said, your mileage is going to vary with anything after that.
Okay.
But for me, yeah, it's like, every now and again, it's kind of like I was trying to explain. Actually, it's funny this came up. I was literally explaining to Cersei earlier this morning what the saying, a broken clock can be right twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I feel here. That's kind of what I feel here is like, is this going to be one of those moments where is this a broken clock situation where this shit might play out? Maybe. But I mean, who wants to take that? Why take that chance? Why take that chance when you know that it rarely ever works out for anybody? But yeah.
To go back to what you said that Bill Skarsgård said that the film's original ending was changed by the filmmakers to make it easier for the possibility of a sequel, which is what he wasn't vibing with.
Right.
Is that because you don't want to have to schedule it, or is that because you have no faith in the finished product? And
honestly,
you don't want to have to like hurt motherfuckers' feelings by telling them no.
Yeah, I could see it. Oh, and I also think too, like, because Bill Skarsgård, once again, he's an actor's actor, so he probably felt like the movie had a better ending before, like one that was definitive. And I know some actors don't like that. They don't like, even though actors love to come back for sequels, depending on if it's like a money-making franchise or not. There are some actors I've seen that, they're like, I feel like the movie ended. We don't need to come back. And then they ultimately come back because they're contractually obligated to. And I kind of feel like that's what this is. But I do also feel it's a little bit of he doesn't have faith in this shit. I feel like he doesn't have faith in it. Like, and I don't know. I don't know. I think this movie's gonna be cheeks. It's gonna be cheeks. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And we don't need sequels for everything. Like I think some movies legitimately should end where they end. Like, I mean, sequels are great sometimes, but how, like, okay. If you like, I'm pretty sure the criticism of Aliens when it was initially announced was probably, oh, well, this movie had a very definitive ending. So, like, she got away. So why do we need a sequel? And then you get the sequel, and it's like, oh, shit, this was actually kind of fire. This was kind of slick better than the original, which is what sequels are supposed to do. So that's what sequels are supposed to do. Terminator, you could say the same thing about Terminator. You can say the same thing about a lot of movies, but I don't know. And the Gladiator. Thank you. Yeah, SJ just said, Gladiator. That's another one. That's another one. Gladiator should be one and done. I don't need a sequel to Gladiator. I don't get me started. But by the way, you remember how we talked about how they were supposed to take out the was it Church of the Wild? No, they ain't take that shit out because when I went to go see Alien Romulus, they played that fucking trailer, and it was the one with Church of the Wild. I was like, I hate this about a bitch. They said they was gonna take it out. It's still in there.
That shit in Deadpool and Wolverine, and I heard it, and I still fucking cringed.
It's like, dude, I was like, man, look, I like hip hop as much as the next person. Look, I like hip hop. I like rap. I like hearing it. Love to hear it, but I don't want to hear it in no goddamn Gladiator trailer. Like, I want to hear an orchestral score. I mean, I'm not trying to be one of those avant-garde, fucking film nerds, but like that's just, that's one of those things I'm like, okay, if you would have, the reason why you could get away with some shit like that for like 300 is because 300 is not a serious movie. I mean, it is, but it ain't. There's a reason why people had no problem with, I think, what was it? What song was they used for the those trailers? It was like 9 Inch Nails, I think, or something like that. But there's a reason why nobody cared. Well, for one, it fit the tone, But it was also because this isn't like, a movie that's trying to be like some kind of period piece drama. This is a fucking comic book movie. Yeah, but anyway. That said, yeah, Cheeks. So, by the way, Taxi Driver by way of John Woo's The Killer. So, yeah, that's what we have to look forward to. That's what we have to look forward to with all this. So, have fun with that. Let's... Okay, thank you, comedian. Thank you, comedian. I couldn't remember the song. I just knew it was a Nine Inch Nails song. I was like, you can't sneak Trent Reznor past me. I'm sorry. I can pick Trent Reznor out of a lineup. I can pick him out of a lineup. You can't sneak him past me. You might get the song title past me, but you ain't gonna get him. We got him. We have him on watch. We have him on watch. But yeah, Lemur, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Which is actually a really good song. Like, even just by itself, standing alone. But that said, let's move on. We've got some other stuff. Well, real quick. Before we jump into the next thing, I do want to do a little we're gonna run through a couple of things real fast. Actually, it's something that I forgot to do because I always forget to do it because it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things. I'm gonna have to do it enough times that it becomes like muscle memory. I guess that's the idea. But if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it is the support. The support. Let's see here. I'm gonna put this in here because I always forget to do this. I'm gonna put it over on the Twitch side as well. Let's put that in over there and pin it. If you want to support the channel, that is the best way to do it, because if you do it that way, neither Google or if you're on the Twitch side, neither Google or Jeff Bezos gets any money. They gets no money. They gets nothing. They gets nothing. But also, while we're here talking about that, we have also got right here, we have got LP3 with the 19 months of the Blerd Club Goldmine. It says, do you guys think certain remakes have trouble simply because it doesn't match the theme of the era, so to speak? The 90s had a special vibe. Yeah, it's that too. It's Carter, would you agree that The Crow was lightning in a bottle?
Yeah. I think the sequel, not all of them, because I mean, like, literally that direct sequel proved that. Because City of Angels was nowhere near as good as the original.
No. Like, it's better than any of the other sequels, but that's not saying much. That's not even saying much. It's like, it's funny too, because they progressively got worse. It was like Crow. Here, I'll just show. See, Crow was up here. City of Angels was down here. And then you can't see where my hand is anymore. That's where Crow Salvation was. And then Crow Wicked Prayer. You can't tell, but my hand is damn near to the floor. So if that tells you anything. But yeah, Crow City of Angels was like, and I'll admit, I actually like a lot of Crow City of Angels, but no, I'm good. It's one of those movies, I think I like it only because of nostalgia for a Power Ranger. Because that was Thuy Trang's last movie, I believe. She had the accident after it.
Okay.
No. I mean, the thing is, and it's not even. It's just, yeah. It was just weird. But but getting back to it, we've also got what's this? Ooh, Speedy One Dust 01 with the 5 says, if you squint hard enough, you'll see the subtitle for Trap. This movie is TRASH, trash. Ooh, I haven't seen it, but I've heard really weird things about it. Like, there are people like putting the cape on for that movie. and it's got me scared. Because did you watch Long Legs? Did you ever get around to watching Long Legs?
No, that's on the list though.
Okay, that was another one that like I'm scared to see it because
Me too, because people are glazing the fuck out of that movie when you couldn't tell what it was about in the little previews that it was. And I told you the one review I randomly saw when I was at work about Trap was that the first half was good, but the second half wasn't. Like leave the theater after the second half start. But
that's what I've heard too. I've actually heard they said like Trap is a good movie if you just pretend it ended like at the halfway mark. And the funny thing about it too is like with Long Legs, the thing that bothered me so much is there were so many people saying, "Oh, it's the scariest movie of the decade, scariest movie of the year, scariest horror movie ever," and I'm like.
They've said that about several movies. They said that. What was the last movie I heard somebody say that shit about? Oh shit! People said that shit about It Follows.
Yeah, which It Follows is like. There's only one part of that movie where I legitimately like jumped, and it ain't even the part that most people talk about. Like, yeah, usually people talk about the part where old girl where she's sitting there and her hair gets pulled up. For me, it was when old girl was standing in the doorway and dude, like big tall motherfucker came out the shadows of the door, like she was standing like behind. That was the only part. I was like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming.
They said that about It Follows. They said that shit about
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. There you go.
Every paranormal activity movie, they said that shit. Scariest movie of the year. Scariest movie of the decade. Critics are saying that it is too scary. No, it is not.
We're gonna show you the same night vision Splinter Cell goggled shot. Like three white girl hollering. We don't know what they hollering about. We don't even know if they watching Paranormal Activity. But yeah, this is the scariest movie.
Yeah, I hate that kind of marketing because it's meant for a very certain demographic of people, and it's people who are incredibly fucking gullible. That's who that's for. Gearless Mo also coming back in says, basically, not it. Talking about the directors, how they were passing the crow around. Dude, they passed that shit around like it was like not even like a blunt. They passed that shit around like it was like, ooh man, no. You take that. You take that. I don't want that. I don't do that. They but also thank you for that 1999 super chat. We've also got Chi-Town Dan, the last Corcone with the $5, says, let this movie be doo-doo water, and I will use it as a prime example as why the recast the T'Challa crowd is wrong, and you should feel bad. It should feel bad about their life. I mean, here's the thing. So many people have come out talking about how this movie shouldn't even be made. From was it Rochelle Davis who played Sherry, the little girl?
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
She came out and said, "Yeah, this don't need to be happening." And then what was it? Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson has even come out and said, "Yeah, Brandon Lee was the crow. That should be it." Like, come on, man. Like, look, man. The people who were literally like in the trenches with Brandon Lee making that film, and I know what some people are probably gonna say. Oh, well, of course they're gonna say that because they want theirs to be the only thing. But no, I mean it's because it's out of respect because Brandon Lee put literally his heart and soul into that movie to the point that. You know, granted, not to any fault of his own, and not even to the fault of the person who fired the gun, but just a freak accident claimed him, and it's like, man, you know what? Just kind of let that ride. And I know some people say, well, what about Joker? Well, that's different. That's a completely different scenario because. There's a difference to me between an actor dying making the movie, like physically on set making the movie, and then dying as a result of making, or not of making the movie, but like just having a death after the fact. There's a difference to me there on that. That's different. I do think no one should try and play his type of Joker again, But you know, if you any other Joker, sure, go right ahead. Have at it, Hoss. Have at it.
Bill
Have at it.
Skarsgård does not like that the ending was changed at the possibility of a sequel, which more than likely would have meant more money for him because they would have asked him to come back. And even with that being known, because this is not a Daniel Craig situation where he did not want to be Bond, but money talked. This is about Crow. This is about the Crow.
Right.
Money ain't talking that loud.
No.
Like, so like that, come on, man. Like that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a whole lot. So I'll ask you this, and then I know you probably want to move on then.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
It's a guarantee you ain't gonna be just in the theater watching this motherfucker. So the people in the chat asking for a review, no sir. But is it one of those where you would cut it on at the house? Not like if you saw it was on the main page on whatever streaming platform, would you hit that search button to find what you actually want to see, or would you actually hit play?
I'd give it a shot. But you know what? I would give it the same energy that I gave Borderlands. If I was not enjoying myself, I would cut it off. Like, because I've gotten to that point now. I don't believe in soldiering through bad movies. I'm sorry. Life is too short, and there are too many other good options. Like, case in point, Borderlands was so bad. I don't know if you've heard about this movie, Carter. There's a movie called Twilight of the Warrior.
Okay.
Twilight of the Warrior, Walled In. It's actually based on the it's a crime drama that also acts as a martial arts film. And it's based on the setup of Kowloon, like back when Kowloon was still like a thing. Before I think Kowloon came down in the 80s. I think it was the 80s, I believe. But you may have seen like this image like making the rounds. This is a movie that actually came out overseas like a ways back, but it actually just recently got released in theaters like here. I watched that instead. I was like, you know what? This is a better usage of my time. Now, I will say, this movie is silly. I mean, it's serious, but it's silly. Like, I will say, if you go to the theater to watch Twilight of the Warrior, the only thing I will warn you about is that there's a lot of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type of shit going on in this movie. Like, it's based on real events or like a real place, a real the backdrop is a very real thing that was going on, but the when like all the action that happens in it, like motherfuckers like doing these weird ass, crazy ass leaps across a room that they should not, that is physically impossible to pull off, or like the types of moves they do. It's on some anime shit. Like even this dude, who's one of the villains of the movie. Yeah, it's a lot of wire food. There's some Matrix shit popping off in this. And I will even go as far as to say people having weaknesses. So yeah, and like I said, it's not bad. It's actually a really good movie. It's a really good movie. But yeah. But what I mean when I say like Kowloon still exists, but what I'm talking about when I say Kowloon, I'm talking about the way it was. Like the way it was like back in like it wasn't the 80s. It was the 90s. It was the 90s. Is when it yeah, like it got torn down in like 1994 Yeah, it was torn down in 94, but like it got rebuilt. It got rebuilt in 95. But for those who know what I'm talking about, like here, I'm gonna pull up this image. I want y'all to see this because I want y'all to understand what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about Kowloon, like as it was, not as it is today. This is what Kowloon looked like. It was a walled city, like, and it was a den of iniquity and crimes, and poverty because of the situation that they were in. But this is what that movie is about. Kowloon exists, but yeah. And I actually, you know, here, I actually want to pull up a better image of that because that one was kind of grainy, kind of fuzzy, a little fuzzy. But yeah, basically Kowloon was a thing. It was a thing. It was a thing that existed. And I don't think anyone was technically better for it. It was bad. It was very bad. The people that lived in it, they lived a life that was honestly, it should have been criminal. It should have been considered criminal for people to have to live like that. But that said, here, this is like more of a, this is technically like the outside of it. But yeah, like you see, and like I said, all this was technically the wall. All these buildings directly on top of each other. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. So yeah, it was poverty of the highest order. It was poverty of the highest order. I mean, and Kowloon is not unique in that. There are other cities. There's places like that. There's places like that across. There's been places like that across the world, but this is probably one of the more well-known ones. But I will definitely say, just for no other reason, the fact that the movie's actually legitimately good and entertaining, I would definitely say watch it. It is a better usage of your time. Yes, Bankai-Oshi. That's basically what it is. Kowloon was basically real life Midgar from Final Fantasy VII. It was real. It was like if you had a real life Midgar. That's basically what it was. But that said, moving on, real quick, what I want to do, this is kind of more of a public service announcement than it is anything else. We talked about this last week, I believe, but Project Wildfire campaign is still on Kickstarter. They got 3 days left, still a good ways away. So got some ground to make up for this campaign, but it can definitely be done. It can definitely be done. I definitely believe it can be done. Let me zoom that in just a little bit. But just real quick, just want to make sure y'all know this is kind of my call to action. We've talked a lot about this on the channel lately, talking about people weaponizing their audiences for ill, for evil, for bullying, for all kinds of fuckboy shit. Well, if I weaponize my audience for anything, it's going to be to make to make dreams come true, to help people get where they need to be, to make shit happen. So I'll just say it again. We talked about this last week kind of briefly, but I'll say it again. The Project Wildfire comic, which, by the way, I don't know if I shared this. I probably did. But a couple of the brothers behind this, one of my homies, Quinn McGowan on the left, who is also my artist for my upcoming stuff, and then Hannibal Taboo. This is their book, Wildfire. It is for those that if you did not catch any of my previous talks about this, basically it's about a guy named Will Watson, who is a college student who's just trying to get a little extra money, trying to get a little extra cheese in his pockets, and he signs up for an experiment, thinking it's just going to make him some money, and winds up coming out of that project with superpowers. This is, for all intents and purposes, a story about a guy who is also battling kaiju In the South. Matter of fact, here, I didn't have these last time, but I have them now. So I'm going to share them. Let's see. We got right here. We got a shot right here where he's going up against a kaiju right here, a kaiju queen, as it were, who is cheeked up. Good Lord. But that said, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. And what I love about this also is just, the narrative itself. The narrative itself. Yeah, this guy, he's literally, the thing that makes him super is the very same thing that is also creating these kaiju. It's also the very same thing that is turning random other people into kaiju. And yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. All the way around. All the way around is what it is. And what I would like to, I want to see this thing. I want to see this thing take off. I want to see it do the thing. I want to see this comic get its proper. So if you can, there is a link in the, there's a link in the description for this here stream. And, for those that are, on the Twitch, if you're on the Twitch side of things, there will be a link in the chat. I'll also put it in the YouTube chat as well, just so that everybody can get it. So yeah, there you go. All right. Oh no, that is terrible. That is terrible. Ooh, God, that is disheartening.
I don't know if I would have really said that out loud.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie,
That is a
that's
terror.
I would have kept to myself.
Yeah. Oh man. Ooh, I'm not gonna.
would have paid whoever came and fixed my issue not to tell nobody that.
I was about to say,
don't know.
You can't disclose that. You cannot disclose this information. I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I saw it, I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, see,
I started getting itchy.
yeah, my feeling was much worse. It was just like, ooh, okay. If he ever offers Carter a plate, do not accept it.
Yeah, you ain't shit.
But yeah, I'm sorry that was in your computer.
Yes.
For all you audiophiles, don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about that. Yeah. We don't want to talk about it. We don't even want to put that bad mojo out there in the world for you. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. But also, I just really want to put that out there. And for those that don't know, it's not just like, I'm not the only one out here putting the cape on. I'm not the only one out here putting the cape on for this book. We also had David F. Walker, the man behind Bitter Root, one of the co-creators of Bitter Root, also one of the co-creators of Naomi. Also, probably the reason that Nighthawk is more of a, well, he's not really a household name, but probably the reason why you might know more about that character than you might have originally thought. And David F. Walker, the main man out here, also had this to say about this book. Quinn McGowan's art has a dynamic energy that brings Project Wildfire to life in a way that revitalizes the superhero genre and makes for an incredibly fun reading experience. We have also got, this is a name I've been also hearing a lot lately, Cully Hamner out here. Who said the same thing, about the same line. It says Taboo McGowan's Project Wildfire, with its fun take on superheroes and military overreach, is a breath of fresh air. These two talents are now on my watch list. And we also had friend of the channel, Gail Simone, also had a little something to say about this. It says, a great mix of the best of classic superhero storytelling with a new voice and vibe. Hurry up with the next issue so I can find out what happens. So, like I said, The people here, they're putting respect on, they're putting respect. They're putting respect on the name of Project Wildfire. So I think that if that is not a glowing enough endorsement, like I said, we got 3 days left. We really want to make this happen. And like I said, and I don't want to make it clear, I have no skin in the game here on this. So I don't want anyone to think that like, oh, I'm putting the cape on for it because, you know, I'm not tied to this. This is not my story. This is not my comic. This is not, I don't have anything to do with this, like, on any level, outside of the fact that, you know, this is my homie. So, yeah, and professional partner in crime when it comes to the book that we're working on together. That's really it. But yeah, I definitely want to see this, become a thing, and I think that we'll all be better for it when it does. But that said, once again, I put the link in the chat. It's also in the description on the YouTube side. It's in the chat for the Twitch side. So yeah, just make sure if you have time, if you can, go check it out. And yeah, hey, do what you will. That said, we're gonna move on over to. Oh, actually, not yet. Actually, I thought I had the thing, but I did not have the thing ready. I thought I added it in, but the lies I have told, I did not. So I'm gonna add it in real quick. We're actually gonna talk about talking about having representation and things of that nature. One thing that I always say, I say this all the time, I say it every time, that if you want to see representation in comics, if you want to see said representation, here, let's move us back. There we go. You got to ask for it. And closed mouths do not get fed. Closed mouths not get fed. If we sit here and we just accept default whiteness in comics, that's what you're going to get. That's exactly what you will get. I had a lot of people. I wanted to share this because, Carter, I think I almost told you about it, but I was like, nah, I'm going to save it for the show. This is going to be one of those rare times I'm going to save this shit for the show. But I put out a thread the other day because someone asked me, or not asked me, someone put out the question and I answered it via a quote post. By the way, you can find me on Threads. That's where I'm at these days. That's what I do now. We don't Twitter anymore. We don't tweet. We thread. That's what we do now. But no, we want this representation. But like I said, we got it. Like, and matter of fact, yeah, I'll actually follow what Bird Nerd said. No, not ask for it. We must demand it. Otherwise, you will not get it. And Goat Breakers on Threads asks, what's your DC hot take? And I said, DC needs to remember they have characters other than Batman and Superman. That was my take. And that's the take I always say. It's not even really, I don't even think it's a hot take. This is regular ass fucking take. That take is room temperature. But afterwards, I got a lot of responses and everybody kept saying the same thing. Everyone kept saying, well, but the James Gunn's movies, they got Mr. Terrific and they're using Hawk Girl and they're casting characters that, they're going to be using Blue Beetle and not using the same. And I was like, look, I had to put this out afterward. I quote posted myself and just made the statement. It's very telling about the state of comics that when I gave a hot take about DC, 90% of the replies assumed I was talking about the movies. Okay. And because it literally, I'm talking about like, as I was going through all of the replies, I'm not even being hyperbolic when I say 90%. The vast majority of, here, I want to go back to that. How many, here it is. So out of 138 replies, most of them were about the movies. Like almost all of them were about the movies. Very few people actually said like realized I was talking about the comics. I even had someone who tried to tell me that, well, DC is using characters other than Superman and Batman. They literally have a Green Lantern War Journal series. And as soon as they said that, I was like, that book is done. They're like, oh, there's a Birds of Prey book. That book just wrapped up. And then it's like, oh, what was the other one? There was some other, in Green Arrow. I was like, that book is already done. It's like the books you're talking about have already come and gone, and we are back on Superman and Batman again. We're back on Superman and Batman time. And I literally said in my reply, I was like, where's Black Lightning? Where's Mr. Terrific? Why don't they have solo series? Where's their solo? And that's kind of my main thing here is that, like, and to be fair, I'm not saying that my statements galvanized DC to just announce out of nowhere, literally the next day, that they had a Black Lightning book coming out. No, not saying that at all, because that was not the case. It was not the case. This shit has probably been in the works for at least a few months. But that said, the reason why I bring all that up is because there is a new Black Lightning series, technically mini-series, coming out. Which I think is great. I think it's great. Also, thank you, L.O. Melvin. Where's Vixen? I said the same thing. Where's Vixen? Why doesn't Vixen have, like, where's Vixen's book? I don't see it. Do you see it, Carter? Have you seen one?
When the fuck did she ever have a book?
She had a book like 2 or 3 times. And she's had like some little minis. Like she had like a couple of minis. And she had like a digital only deal like a ways back. But like, man, yeah. And that's kind of my thing. Like, because even when dude tried to pull Green Lantern War Journal out of the crack of his ass to try and use it as like a talking point, I pointed out that this was the first time Jon Stewart had a solo series in a long time. I think last time he had a solo series was Mosaic. I don't think he's had one since then. Like any other time you saw Jon Stewart, he was either in Green Lantern Corps or was in Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps or was just in a Green Lantern book with other Green Lanterns. It wasn't like a solo, it wasn't a solo series. And yes, Jazz, yes. Shit, what that? That is what it is. Look, let me be real with y'all. Let me be real with y'all. I mean, to be fair, I did say it. It's the rule of 3. It's the rule of 3. If you got, see, and that's kind of why Green Lantern gets away with not being a black book. You got one Black Lantern. Now, if you'd had Joe Mullen in the book, oh, I take that back. He did have a solo series. There was a Green Lantern Emerald Knight. I forgot about that one. But still, my point remains the same. How many solo titles has Hal Jordan had? How many solo titles has Kyle Rayner had? How many solo titles? Well, I'm not going to use Guy Gardner, but you get where I'm coming from. You get where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? You talk about the Hanna-Barbera shit. They're giving that shit away. They're giving Hanna-Barbera away to Dynamite. Dynamite's out here doing it. They're like, nah, like we got this. We got this. We'll handle it. Dynamite said, oh, y'all don't want that money? They said, she. Hey, Gavin, what's going on? What's going on? But like I said, it just, this is why I say, and I want to be clear when I say this too. You don't have to be ugly about it. You don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be like, aggressive or even militant about it. You just have to make sure your voice is heard. You have to put it out there. The back half of a Jon Stewart Ray. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah, we talk about, but it's one of those things where, and I'll even take color. I'll take color completely out of the scenario. Because there were a lot of people who thought, oh, I was just making it a race thing. I feel the same way about Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson should be retiring as Batman by now. in a perfect world, Dick Grayson would be passing the torch by now. Like it would Dick Grayson would have had like 3, 4, 5 different solo series as Batman, and then pass the shit to Tim Drake, and then Tim Drake had him a few, and he would pass that shit to Damian. Damian had him a few. He passed it on to somebody else.
Nobody would have read that Damian book. Nobody would have read a Damian Wayne Batman book. Nope.
Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. I
gave you Dick Grayson. You might have some people that'll argue with you about Tim Drake, but ain't nobody read the Damian Wayne Batman book.
Well, I will say, and I've said the same thing. I've actually said this very, 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 very same thing. Jon Stewart is the Lantern an entire generation knows. What's that, sir?
I'm in that generation.
Yeah. No, like, I mean, think about it. Everybody who watched Justice League Unlimited. That's my Green Lantern. Yeah, that's your Green Lantern. Kyle Rayner was the guy at the time. I think if I remember correctly, Kyle Rayner was large and in charge, I think around the time that cartoon was on, but he was so relatively new. They went with Jon Stewart. And Jon Stewart, like most of the people I know who are like my age, a little bit younger, maybe a little bit older, they don't know Hal Jordan like that. It's the same thing with The Flash. Like, granted, I think The Flash is in a good place right now because Wally West is where he deserves to be, is as The Flash. I don't give a fuck about Barry Allen, because the day I realized that Barry Allen was not my Flash, I was like, oh, shit. This been Wally the whole time? Oh, my... Because, admittedly, while I read the comics, I also watched the TV show, and the TV show was Barry Allen. And I remember even when they made that shitty-ass fucking Justice League of America pilot that had Barry Allen in it, and it wasn't even really Barry Allen. It was a Barry Allen that acted like Wally West. And a lot of the shit that, like, Barry Allen gets credit for doing is shit Wally West did. But, like, I was like, dude, Wally, like, I said it for the longest time. I said, Wally West should still be the Flash. And he's the Flash now, obviously, but... I was like, Barry Allen, man, take your ass on somewhere. Hal Jordan, take your ass on somewhere. Get. Give me my Jon Stewart should have been the guy. He should have been the guy. He should have still been the. I mean, you can have your Hal Jordan. You can have your Hal Jordan. But I should also be able to have my Jon Stewart, which technically that is what they gave us. That's what they gave us, Green Lantern War Journal. And this is why I say, once again, don't go out and be an asshole. Don't go out and be a dick. Don't go out and, threaten people's lives, but just make your voice heard. Say, hey, I would really love it if we had a Green Lantern, Jon Stewart book. I would really love if we had a Mr. Terrific book. I would love if we had a Vixen book. I would love we technically have a Blue Beetle book right now, but I mean, a lot of that was, some of it was based on the fact they had a movie coming out, but I mean, a lot of it was people asking for the thing. Your voice will be heard, but you have to say, you have to say the line. You have to say the line, and it's a it just is what it is. It just is what it is. And honestly, I think I'll say this. I think it's downright criminal. That we didn't have a Black Lightning series, like anywhere seeing the light of day while Black Lightning was on the air, except for Cold Dead Hands. We had Cold Dead Hands. That was the one Black, like it was 6 issues. We didn't even get an ongoing. We got 6 issues of a mini series of Black Lightning while that TV show was on the CW. That is, which it sounds insane to me, because that should have been the time to have a book out. Because people are like, oh shit, this is Black Light. Oh, okay. This show's popular. People are watching it. There's people who are learning this as a comic book character. Okay, yeah, where's the book? Sorry, there's no book. What book? What book? We don't know anything about a book. What was it? What was the other one? Black Lightning Year One. That was the other most recent one. Another 6-issue mini. Very good 6-issue mini, by the way. Yeah, very good. Most people don't remember the 95 Black Lightning. Most people don't remember 95 Black Lightning. I don't blame you. It was a weird time. It was a very weird time. Carter, did you ever read 95 Black Lightning?
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird time. Very weird time. Not bad, but just a weird time.
It's funny just because I was one of those people, and I will admit to my ignorance. I saw Black Lightning and thought that was like, oh, that must be Static Shock Daddy. Like that was the first thing that popped into my head.
This motherfucker.
I'm not gonna hold like if you all can judge me, it's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
Like I said,
It's okay.
It was an ignorance back in the day. But Black Dude, Lightning Powers, DC Comics, they got to be a thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But like hearing you say all of this about Black Lightning, and
this is the 95 Black Lightning, just by the way, for those that don't know. But carry on.
But that's why, like, okay, so here's the deal. Brandon Thomas is going to be writing this Black Lightning series, 5-issue limited, so it's a 5-issue mini, and I do respect DC for saying that this is a 5-issue mini and not saying that this is a 5-issue ongoing series. But it's when I saw that it was 5 issues that I got a little bit frustrated. I got a little bit irritated. And that's what made me look up the previous Black Lightning runs to put in the show notes before we started. That's what made me look it up, because I started thinking about Brian Hill's Blade series. And it made me go back and look of how many runs have these characters had. And like Ernie said, I found that the Black Lightning series from 2018, 6 issues. Black Lightning from 2009. We jumped. We went from 09 and then didn't get another one until 9 years later, both of which were just 6 issues. The series from 95, where I thought he was Static Daddy. That was 19 issues. And then Black Lightning as a character got his own solo thing in 1977 with 11 issues, one of which was unreleased that I found out as well.
Yes, this is true. And also, you ain't shit, Triple Dot. You ain't shit. It's got to be 10 issues to be ongoing.
You're right.
You're right. You're right.
My point was, just going back to your original thread, you have more than Batman and Superman, because look how many different series these characters have. And shit, look at how many issues Nightwing got around here in Bloodhaven. I didn't see so many different fucking facets of Bloodhaven. Oh my god,
bruh.
Now I'm not saying that this Black Lightning series won't be 5 issues of heat. Don't know that. Don't know it. Haven't read it yet. But it's this 5-issue mini that's coming from Brandon Thomas is going to be a family affair. That's one thing that they say.
Yes.
Like that is that with Jefferson Pierce leading the Justice League's new metahuman outreach program. I love that they had that's one wink to the fucking TV show, but helping those with powers before they can cause harm to themselves or others. But everything changes when it's his own daughter, Anissa, who comes to him for help, and that's solicits from the first issue. So there was someone in the chat asking, wait, is this just Black Lightning, or is this going to be his daughters as well?
Everybody's involved.
Everybody's involved in this.
Yeah.
You're not going to get him by himself.
No.
And it's just like, I want to be happy that this book is coming. I want to be happy that DC bestowed upon us 5 fucking issues. But just seeing that you're going from 11 to 13 to 6, 9 years later, another 6, and then another 5 years after that, I'm going to drop you down and give you 5. I can't be as excited. I'm not gonna hold you. And that's not to say that that he wasn't in other books. I remember when they
He was
did
in the Outsiders.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that. Batman in
It was
the Outside.
Yeah, it was Bat. Well, and that was kind of like his thing. Like that's the thing I always found sad about Black Lightning, is because a lot of his history is not in his own comic. It's in Batman and the Outsiders. Like, if you go back to like the 80s and 90s, a lot of his appearances, it was like him hanging out with Batman and Geoforce and various and sundry other people. It's just like, oh man, kind of wish this dude had his own book. And I mean, it was kind of the same for Vixen, because Vixen, same thing. Suicide Squad. That's where the majority of her storytelling is. I mean, yeah, when she was in like the Justice League later, yeah, sure, but like the bulk of her storytelling is in that Ostrander Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
and that's the lion's share, no pun intended. Which yeah, and Black Vulcan, yeah, because that is actually true. While the names are actually different, it's basically the same character. It's the same character, more or less.
I'm gonna tell you what's funny about your point of how they didn't do this when the show was going on.
Yeah,
I've seen several shots for this new book, and you all got Jefferson Pierce looking just like he did on the damn show. But y'all waited until 2024 to drop the especially if you're gonna make him look like what it just.
Well, I mean, you here look at this man. Man, y'all did Scooter dirty as hell. Y'all did Scooter dirty as hell.
I didn't want to show my age and say it, but it's funny because this one thing that keeps showing up in the YouTube algorithm for me is some compilation that has been created about Khadijah and Scooter.
Bruh,
I don't know why this keeps showing up for me on the YouTube algorithm, but we talking about living single. Shut your faces.
Yeah, yeah. The real friends.
So like, I want to be excited that this book is coming out. I'm gonna buy the book when it comes out.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely.
But 5 issues of this and like 10 issues of Blade, it's getting frustrating, and I don't know who's at fault here, or if anyone is at fault, or I'm just getting exhausted, man. I really am.
No, I feel you.
I feel like how you probably felt watching Alien Romulus. I'm just.
Oh yeah, like I'm just like I was tired, boss. I was tired. My heart can't take no more. Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you. This is the hope I have. Because we know this is gonna be this is gonna be a miniseries.
Yeah.
However, this is my hope, because I know that every series has the potential. Especially if it sells well. So this is going to be my call to action for all of you. When this book comes out, support it. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The money crunchers at DC, they'll be like, hey, man, that little 5-issue joint we put out for Black Lightning. Black Lightning? We put out a book for... I mean, I guess. Yeah, you know what? It's selling pretty goddamn good. Really? Like, how good? Like, no, man, it's double, triple projections. Like, people are pre-ordering the book. They're going to the LCS. They're asking for the book to be put in their boxes, man. It's going, like the orders are going crazy. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be the same thing that happened, because I believe this was the same case with Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy, if I remember correctly, Poison Ivy was not intended to be, like, at issue, I think Poison Ivy is on issue like 30 something now, I think, or somewhere close to it. I think it was only supposed to be like I think it was only supposed to be like 10 issues, maybe. I might be misremembering. And what Gavin just said right here, because I want to point out something. I want to point out something. You know that I kind of alluded to this earlier. I alluded to this earlier with Blue Beetle. Remember earlier I made a mention of the Blue Beetle got a little mini series. It was called Graduation Day. Very good, solid book. Good creative team on it. They understood the assignment. They actually came in took care of Blue Beetle, did right by him as a character. And I think it ran like, it was not 5. It was 6-issue mini. They introduced new Beetles. They introduced new aliens. Had a really solid story for Jaime, and I assume it sold well because they came out with another series afterwards. They came out I think they're on issue 11 or 12 now. I don't know exactly, but here, actually, I want to pull this because let's see here. So when you go to here it is. This is the book right here. This is the one I'm talking about. This is the one that it was supposed to be they let you know off rip. This is 1 of 6, 6 books, in and out, we up out of here. And they left it pretty. I mean, they left it open ended in the 6th issue. But like I said, you come back. You come back to I think maybe just a few months later, and you could also make the argument it was probably also likely because there was a whole Blue Beetle movie coming out at the time. But I mean, they came out with a book. They could have easily just said, "Hey, we're going to do just another 5 or 6 issues." But no, they're on issue 11 right now. I think 12 is I think 12 is somewhere on the way. So I mean, it just you have to. This is the thing I always say, and I feel like this is what happened to Black Lightning. And I might be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. But when they came out with Cold Dead Hands, what was that we said? It was 2018? 2018 for that book. When Cold Dead Hands came out, I don't think people were buying it like that. I don't think people were. I don't think people were picking up the book. I don't think they were picking up the book like that. I don't think they were picking up the book. And here's the thing. You had, by the way, first off, Clayton Henry on art. Y'all be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all had Clayton Henry on art, and y'all didn't go get this book. Look at how pretty. Look how pretty this shit is. Look how pretty this fucking book is. And people didn't get it. People didn't get it. This book is fucking fantastic looking. And it's written by Tony Isabella, the guy who created Black Lightning.
Yeah, that's the wild part about it. That's the really wild part about it.
You get Black Lightning straight from the source.
That's why I'm telling you, I don't know really who's to blame for this, because you put the original creator and a good ass artist on it. Is it y'all?
What?
Is it who do I swing on? That's what I'm trying to
because I was
trying to figure out who am I trying to swing on here. But I saw that Gavin said he wonders who's the editor on this Black Lightning book. I want you to ask, but I don't want you to end up one of the motherfuckers in HarleyQuinn's dungeon getting your feet tickled. So I'm not gonna ask you. I ain't gonna ask you to do that.
Dude, I had a flashback. I just had a flash. My feet started. My feet started kind of squirming when you said that. I went back and rewatched that episode again. Man, that episode hit different on a second watch.
My sister's husband, he just started watching it from one of my recommendations. Man, I get a random text that just said, "Bruh, this Bullet guy," and he keeps calling him Flask. These motherfuckers are goons.
Yeah. Oh no. Straight up goons.
This motherfucker puts hench ... men in the text.
I mean,
because he's not a real big comic book guy like that.
Right.
So I got that text, and then I got, bruh, this Harvey Dent guy is the fucking Punisher or something, isn't it?
Right?
So
out here.
Cape Crusader has been a fun time.
It's fun. Right, it's now. So good.
Just from people's reactions, yeah.
Also, you leave it to my wife to point this out. She's like, I really like these versions of Harley Quinn and Barbara Gordon. She's like, they're thick. She's like, we should talk about Renee Montoya. She's like, dude, Renee got cheeks.
Yeah. I've had to say, because somebody else said, we were like, man, they kind of plump, huh? I said, no, voluptuous. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Voluptuous.
Woo. Lord have mercy. And also Havoc, it was Gearless Mo. Gearless Mo to hooked you up, if I remember correctly. But now I will say this. Yeah, the press release does not say who the editor is. I would love to know. Like when this book comes out, that's something, you know what? You've made me think about this. That's okay. So I look at a lot of credits when I read a book. I never pay much attention to who the editor is. So now you've actually made me kind of want to pay attention to that, because now I'm wondering, okay, so when we get a book, who's the person who's likely the oversight on it? Like who brought us this? And I think that's important to pay attention to, because there's a lot that goes into it, but just the same, I think just to get this book at all, like I said, I want to make it clear, I'm not saying that it was me alone. I'm not saying it was me alone just because I said one little thing on the internet that this made DC act right. No, it's because everybody is saying it. If everyone is saying it, and once again, I'm never a dick about it. At least I don't think I'm being a dick about it when I say it. I just say, hey man, I would just love to see some more. I would love to see some more. I would love to see some more Jon Stewart. I'd love to see some more Vixen. I'd love to see, and once again, I said this for a long time. I was a huge proponent for putting Jaime Reyes front and center in the DC Comics universe, even before there was a Blue Beetle movie on the horizon. I said the same thing for Robbie Reyes over on the Marvel side. I was like, dude, y'all need to put Robbie Reyes front and center. And while it may not have been the way everybody wanted, it happened because people were saying the same thing. It wasn't just me. It was a lot of other people saying that shit. It's like when I see this treasure trove of characters, and I think people underestimate this, and maybe there's a reason behind it, but DC has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to characters. I'm talking like even more than Marvel. DC has an absolute fucking embarrassment of riches when it comes to amazing characters. So I get it. I don't really envy them the task of trying to determine who should get a shot. And I know they can't give everyone a book, but I do feel like, man, every once in a while, I'm not saying you can't sell your Batman books, you can't sell your Superman books, but every once in a while, where you think, ooh, let's put that second or third Superman or Batman book out, maybe say, you know what? Let's give the Question a book. Let's give the Question a book. Nobody's talking about the Question like they should. Because the thing I always hear people say is, oh, well, those other books don't sell. But here's the thing. You got to give people a reason to care. And those people, they don't see those books because, or the reason why they don't think these characters is, I'll put it this way, because this is actually more accurate. The reason why these people think that characters like the Spectre, Dr. Fate, the Question, the Phantom Stranger, Vixen, Mr. Terrific, Black Lightning, so on and so forth. The reason why these people, these naysayers have this opinion that, oh, well, nobody cares about those characters. They would if they actually saw them more. They would. I promise you, they would care. Especially, and this is a part of it as well, especially if you put, like in this case, you are putting people on the book, this Black Lightning book that's coming out, Brandon Thomas, that's a good look. That's a good look right there. Because if I'm not mistaken, man, I'm trying to remember, what was the other book that right here. Boom. Your boy. Right here. This your Brandon Thomas right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I know off rip, going into this, I'm going to enjoy this. There's a high chance. There's a high success rate that I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah. As long as you're putting quality with the character.
Yes.
We will read that and enjoy that quality. And we want you to come out with more quality. You have to put good things behind these stories for people to care about them.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If people can see when you're half-assing something, when you're not putting all of your resources behind something. There's just some shit y'all got over here somewhere while we promote XYZ stuff that we really want you to focus on. When you
Right.
put that level of quality and that backing behind something else, then people will read it. People will respond to that. Like,
I mean, here's the thing.
and that's what I'm hoping we get. That's what I'm hoping we get.
No,
I'm
same. Like,
hoping, I'm hoping these 5 issues do a whole heap of a lot.
yeah.
And it makes people open their eyes, truly.
Well,
Truly.
and I'll also put out here too, like, yeah, I talked a good bit about Green Lantern War Journal just now. Green Lantern War Journal. Who'd you put on the book? You put Philip Kennedy Johnson, so you knew it was going to be good. Yeah,
Yep.
you knew it was going to be good. You knew.
Quality.
You knew. You put somebody on that you knew was, and the thing is, like I said, it's not to say, don't give everybody a chance, but I mean, the thing is, like, when you know you're dealing with either an unknown quantity or someone that, maybe people aren't as familiar with, because case in point, as we were just saying earlier, why do people know John Stewart better than they know any other Green Lantern? It's because you put him in front of faces. You put him on a fucking cartoon, and people know who he is as a result of it. There's lots of superheroes that people only know because they saw them on TV. You can't expect everyone to have Batman levels of popularity if you don't give them Batman treatment. That's why I always think it's such an unfair statement when people say, "Oh, well, Batman and Superman are popular, so they deserve it." Is it they're popular because they are put in front of eyes more than any other? Also, they're some of the earliest, not like they were the first superheroes, but they were the first superheroes who like really caught on in the way the superheroes catch on. Historically,
there was quality put with them. You just brought up John Stewart. Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Yeah, easy money.
About that fucking Superman run.
Yeah.
You look how many times there are books we're reading. We don't even know what the fuck they're about. But when we hear who's writing it, we just did the shit. We just did that shit last week with Power Fantasy. We don't know what the fuck that book was gonna be about, but it was Kieran Gillen. Quality.
Easy. That was easy money.
Right. Captain America and the Mighty Avengers. That's some people's first introduction to Blue Marvel. Who's writing that? Al Ewing. Al Ewing comes out with the Ultimates. We don't know what the fuck the Ultimates is going to be at that point, but who's writing it? Al Ewing. Loki. Al Ewing. So you when you put that quality and you put those names that we know are equated with good things,
right?
And people are gonna read it no matter what the fuck it is. So
I mean, I like to. Ooh, this is heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah, that shit go get your ass.
It's heavy.
Get your ass at some point, boy.
I love this book. Super Sons. On paper, I should fucking hate it because I don't really give a fuck about Damian Wayne. I like John Kent, but I mean, I just don't. I was like, I just don't care. I just don't care. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you why I got it. There's well, you can actually see him on the front, but I'm gonna just kind of hold the spine of the book up.
Thick as fuck.
Yeah, this book is thick. The boy thick. The boy thick.
Good.
Peter J. Tomasi, right there. You see that? Peter J. Tomasi. You actually see it probably better on the front, but Peter J. Tomasi right there. Fire. I knew it was gonna be good. You put your best. You put one of your best. You put one of your best and your brightest on the book. You got Jorge Jimenez on here. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm in. Fine. Stop. You beat me up. I
want to put a bookmark in this real quick, but you pulling out that Super Sons, there's something I keep meaning to ask you, and I always forget, but you brought it up when you showed that book.
Yeah.
Have you read that new thing, that new Super Sons thing they're doing with Zod's kid and Sinestro's kid?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Sinister Sons. Is that what the name of it? Yeah. It was one of those things like, because I've often been saying, man, that's actually the thing I hated the DC did. I hated that they aged up John Kent the way they did, because I feel like that was a very bad idea. I think they should have left him young, so that way him and Danny could have grew up together. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. That was and I love Brian Michael Bendis, but that's the one thing I'll be like, man, Bendis, you could have done better. You could have done better. You could have done so much better. But no, that said, I always ask for more Super Sons. They didn't give me Super Sons, but they gave me Sinister Sons. Close enough for me. Yeah. Yeah. It's not what I asked for, but you know, I think like I said, there's a lot of books out there. There's a lot of books out there vying for eyeballs, and I get it, but like, and you know what? I could do better. Like, yeah, I could spend more time talking about these books extemporaneously, you know, on the channel. I don't, just because I'm one person and I only have so much time in a day, and the videos that give me the most views of the videos I will normally just do, because doing anything less would just do this. It would make the channel go from here. It would just start. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I will talk about books, and then like people won't watch the videos, and I'm like, well, you guys keep. And I say all the time, I say, people keep telling me that they want something different. They want to see these other things, and then they don't. They don't. You know, they don't watch the video for me to tell them that these things are happening. So then it's just like, well, now we're just running around in circles. Now we're just running around in circles. So that's why I actually started doing like the little shorts. So like it's a little short video. You can come in, watch it, move on with your day. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time, you know, whatever. But that said, yeah, this book, I'm here for it. I want it. You know, it's. I say, hey, look, if you like, I'm not saying just because here's the thing, I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I'm not saying just indiscriminately, you support every single solitary thing. But if Black Lightning is something you give a shit about, when the book comes out, put your money where your mouth is. That's all I can really say. Put your money where your mouth is. So there you go. See, and Jazz knows what's up. Cause heck, I did one for Aquagun. I originally wanted to do a full video, but I was like, yeah, it's just better if I just, talk about this thing in, in passing, just in passing. But yeah, like I think just in the last few days, I did one for Scarlet #3. I did one for Transformers 11, Aquagun 3, Thundercats #5 and 6. We have Power Fantasy, Space Ghost, so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a thing. It's a thing. That said, let's get into our recommendations. What's our recommendation, Carter?
So this week, I was telling Ernie before we started the show, but I had read a book recently. It was an older one from Rick Remender. It's called Tokyo Ghost. It was basically this futuristic, cyberpunkish kind of world where everybody is jacked in. Literally cannot get off of whatever screen they are looking at, whatever screen that is on their phone, on their computer, on their TV, on their chair, on their car. And that book is not what I'm recommending. Reading that book just reminded me of a time, and I'm pretty sure this is what Rick Remender was trying to do. Just reminds me of when that was the big thing that a lot of people didn't like, was that how they didn't like how glued people were to mobile, to computers, to TV, and that was all. And that gave me the idea to recommend to you all, just saying that weird, gross Rick Remender universe.
Oh yeah, we said it was Tokyo Ghost, right? Yeah,
Tokyo Ghost. It's a very old Image series. It's a good Image series. Toward the end, you can really tell that he was insanely rushed, but
yes,
it was a solid series nonetheless. But reading that book and seeing how many people, especially with like TikTok and all that stuff nowadays. Now, I'm not telling you to watch shorts from the Blerd Without Fear, because absolutely do that, because I might start doing those at some fucking point. But
That's
what I recommend for you all, what I recommend for you all to do is just to get out of the house for a little bit today. Not saying you got to go nowhere, because you might be broke. A lot of y'all don't get paid until next week like me. But you know, get you some shade, man. Go outside, sit on your porch, sit on your patio. Give the games a break a minute. I mean, if you're not watching us live, man, get your phone out, put your earbuds in, listen to us, go read something, go play with a pet. You know, just my recommendation, our recommendation for you all this week, honestly, just vibe this weekend. Man.
Yeah,
just
100%.
just vibe, just vibe.
Also, just to piggyback what he said, this was what I said on Threads literally just yesterday. I was actually saying this about Threads because people were just being, ignorant, acting ignorant, coming at folks all kinds of crazy, not realizing there's nuanced conversation happening. So on and so forth. And that's why I will always say, go touch some goddamn grass. Also, shout out to friend of the channel, Marewa Ayadeli, out here. For those who don't know, Marewa, the good brother behind Akugun, brutalizer of gods, along with the homie Dotun Akande. Y'all need to, first off, man, I'm just gonna say it. Y'all need to go read it. If you have not seen my 1 minute review for it, man, you probably should.
Yeah,
you probably should. It was that book was. Yeah, I'm gonna quote another friend of the channel. It was amazing is what it was. It was oh god, it was so good. Also, man, I'm not gonna lie, if there's any here, I don't know what's possible, but I'm gonna need a prequel. I'm gonna need a prequel for Anaya, the Annihilator of Armies, because I need to know how this woman got to where she got, because she was out here. She was acting a whole monkey out here in these streets. I was so here for it.
I've never seen a man so terrified of eating coochie just in case he did it too bad.
Right?
And was gonna get fucked up. I have never seen that in a comic before, but now that I have seen it, that is the funniest, most terrifying, most gangster shit I have ever seen. That shit was too funny.
That motherfucker was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was so scared for him.
Yeah.
He was
But I just something on Discord. Just going back to your telling people to touch some grass. I just sent you something on Discord. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought about you when I saw this. And I said, let me crop this up, because he's probably gonna be able to use that for something.
Oh yeah. Here, well, let me see if I can. Here, let me. Here, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. I'm gonna pull this up. This is
that might be a new drop or something. Man.
We might be able to do a little. We might be able to do a little sub with this whole. I'm gonna put it here just so I can.
Akugun is what I'm hoping Black Lightning is going to be to win. Yeah. Hoping we get more than 5 issues of Black Lightning. I'm hoping the next continuation of any Akugun thing we get is more than 3 issues, because boy, when I got to that last page, I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. I need some more of that. I need it.
The trade is not out for Akugun yet. It literally just dropped the 3rd issue. But the 3rd issue is the end of the first arc, as I understand it. There's going to be another. There's supposed to be another 3, I believe, for another arc. And for those wondering why it's 3, it's because they're not standard. Excuse me. They're not standard sized issues. If I don't remember the exact page count on it. It's kind of escaping me at the moment. yeah, I think it's. Let's see here. I want to say we're talking like somewhere. I think it's like 40 something. It's like about the size of a Hickman single issue. About the size of a Hickman single issue, to my understanding.
And Terrence Baker, you should be able to find it at your local comic shop because it's always at my local comic shop. They always have it like at least one issue because they sell out of the other ones so quickly. So
it's like they go like that.
Not a Kickstarter or anything like that. You just got to be on it at your comic shops, man.
Yeah,
and if they don't have it, get them to order it for you, big dog.
Also, here, I'll tell you what, this is what I'll do. This is, here, I want to, because I actually have here, can I pull this up? Yeah, I can pull this up. If you want to check out Aquagun, you can actually get it directly straight from the source. Here, this is the link for the first one. I'll pull up the others. Yeah, here's the. Yeah, this is issue 2. And let me see if I can pull up 3. Where's the I don't know why I'm having trouble finding this link. I found the other was like stupid easy. I can't find this one, but I'll put it like this. If you go through that website, you should be able to find all 3 issues. 100%. But once again, shout out to Marewa. Also, for those who know, Marewa is also going to be doing Storm, the upcoming Storm solo series. Bruh, y'all ain't ready. Y'all aren't ready. Y'all aren't ready. Y'all aren't ready. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all are you're not ready. You're not ready for it. It's gonna be. I've been keeping close tabs on this, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea what's in store for you. You have no idea. It's whoo, Lord have mercy. Have mercy, King. That said, but also, yeah, I actually had to look this up. Because I didn't know. I actually didn't know. I wasn't sure what the currency was. But this is the currency of Nigeria. So Marewa out here hooking us up. 2,500 in Nigerian currency. Love to see it. We're out here. That just a friendly reminder. We got peoples everywhere. Just putting that out there. Let's go ahead and get into our oh, actually no, we got a couple more things I want to hit before we move on. We do also have let's see here. Left Face with the 12 months of the Blerd Club Diamond Mine says, get those likes up. Cause yeah, they're a little low. They're a little low. I'm gonna need them to. I'm gonna need you to uplift. We also got Black Phoenix 77 out here with the Blerd Club Gold 7 months in a row. Krakoa forever. And we also got Jasmine out here with the 3 months of Blerd Club Gold. Mine says, was it always like this where big characters were the only ones getting solos? Like, might have been the trouble, but I feel like everyone in the 90s got a series. And you're not wrong. So the comic industry used to be way more liberal about what books they put out. That's why you saw, like, when you go to a shop, it seemed like everybody and their grandmama had a book. Everybody. If you were on the Justice League, you had a book. If you were on Justice League International, you had a book. If you're on the X-Men, you had a book. Dude, Carter, I don't know if you remember this. There was a time in the 90s, every X-Man had a book.
I remember. I started thinking about Spider-Man when I heard that, because I remember just Spider-Man himself, and I know I don't want to keep it on a big character, but I remember Spider-Man had like 4 or 5 different books.
Yeah, 5. Because you'd have Spider-Man, you'd have Web of Spider-Man,
Yep.
You'd have Spectacular Spider-Man. You get Spider-Man Unlimited. And then you had Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay.
And then one of them Spider-Man books, not more often than not, you see Spider-Man on the cover. Once you open it, oh, that shit is strictly about Peter Parker shenanigans. Like,
right?
That was it.
It's like, bruh, like, what's going on? I was like, what's happening? I'm like, man, stop. But no, I really took a lot of I personally took a lot of pleasure. I took a lot of pleasure in just the idea that back in the day, yeah, it would be so many. Like, I remember walking to a shop, you see X-Men on the shelf, and right next you see Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, the further adventures of Cyclops and Jean Grey.
That's a lie. That entire first row went X-Men, Wolverine, and a bunch of different goddamn Wolverine books.
Well, that was that too.
Was that whole first row. It wasn't until like the third where your ass got to like Storm and Cyclops and Jean and shit. Nah.
Wait, Gambit got a book, Beast got a book.
Yep. But that entire first row was literally X-Men, Wolverine, and then like 8 different goddamn Logan books. Nope.
Oh yeah. Well, and like you would get before you even got to the individual characters after Wolverine, you get X Factor, X Force, Excalibur, New Mutants. It would look like a whole shelf. It would just be X-Men. That's all it would be. That's all it would be. Shit's fucking crazy. I'm not making this up either. This is 100%. This is 100%. It just was what it was. It was what it was. I want you all to
keep in mind with what Ernie is talking about. When I say, I'm not being funny. When I say it was X-Men and then just a row of Wolverine, each of those it's not the same Wolverine book. No. These were different with goofy ass subtitles. You had a Wolverine, the best there is. Then you had Uncaged, and then you had Enraged, and then it was something with an ED at the end, but it was Wolverine on the front of it.
Berserk. That's not one, but it could have been one.
There was a Berserker Barrage or Weapon X.
Yeah, Weapon X. That's what it was.
Wolverine. You're like, get the fuck, man. Listen. That's why you have so many people that fucking despise that character still to this day. Their ass was in the 90s when that was all you fucking saw. That was John Cena before John Cena.
Oh yeah, Wolverine, when that motherfucker would show up on the scene, you would literally hear that yabba doo 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 doo. Like that motherfucker was out here literally the definition of ad nauseum.
Yep.
Wolverine was in too many places.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out again to Marewa. He said, yeah, our currency sucks. Looking forward to Black Lightning. The cover by Tareen Clark is so good. Yes, it is. That's the thing. And you know what? Okay, so let's put that out there. You gotta have You say you can never judge a book by its cover. I think that's true. I still think that's true to this day. But the cover helps. The cover helps. The cover helps sell the book.
Couldn't say that about Wolverine in the 90s though. That motherfucker would be on the cover where it looked like he was fighting 8 dudes. You open the book, he may have been talking to like Wolfsbane in a bar on one panel. That was all Wolverine was in that book.
That was it. Everything else, like, dude, I actually remember there was one Wolverine book. Oddly enough, it's actually a really good one. I was like, man, I saw more Juggernaut than I saw Wolverine. I was like, God damn. But no, man, it like I said, it is all love. It is all love. I definitely want to say though, I think we're in a good place. I think we're in I won't say good place. I think we're in a better place though, because we're not getting those gajillion Wolverine books like a month. Or throughout the year. I think it's really Batman. Batman is the egregious offender. Like, I remember there was one week Batman was on the cover of no less than like 10 books. And I was just like, okay. And then let's see. We also got one here. This is Romy Forever says to Blerd and Carter for asking, why ain't there no brothers up on the wall? Hey, look. Honestly, that's okay. So I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of how you have to do it. That's kind of how you have. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what else helps. I love to see the representation of so many characters across like both Marvel and DC. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like we need to wait on them to do it. But my thing is, I feel you have to make the thing. And that's why you see so many people out there, because it's so much easier now to make a comic than I think ever before. So that's why you see so many people like out there, like in the world, like they're actually coming up with their own thing and saying, hey, I'm not seeing myself represented in these comics. I'm going to make my, it basically is Thanos. It's Thanos mode. You say, okay, all right, well, y'all was fooling around in Age of Ultron. So, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do it myself. Let me go put the gauntlet on. I'm gonna go do it myself. That's basically what you got to do, and it's the reason why. You're gonna see a lot more of that. You're gonna see people you're saying, hey, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna create my own book, and it's gonna do. That's just what it's gonna be. Was it Blue Marvel gets a mini for a 10-year debut anniversary? Probably. He'll probably get it.
I'm scared though, because if you letting Charlemagne write that motherfucker, I don't know if I want to read no more.
I don't want Charlotte. Okay, first off, here's the caveat. It bet not be Charlemagne the God. If you put Charlemagne the God on this shit, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. I don't want no more. Okay? I don't want no more if this is what we doing. Also, first off, that is the nastiest but most accurate thing I have ever heard. The Wolverine stimulus package. That's basically what Wolverine was. Because basically, and you can say the same for Batman. If you had, like in the 90s especially, if you put Batman or Wolverine on the cover of a book, even if it wasn't a book, it was going to sell. Matter of fact, X-Men, if you put Spider-Man used to be that. Spider-Man used to be that shit. Spider-Man used to be one. Oh, you put Spider-Man on the cover. Oh, that's getting bought. That was like, I mean, I know probably because this is the way it happened, but I'm pretty sure that's why Wolverine debuted in those early issues. Or I say debuts as if it was his first appearance, but I mean, like, but why in Ms. Marvel's debut, why Wolverine was in the first, not the first. He wasn't in the first like issue or the first two issues even. I think it was like the third, fourth, or fifth or something like that. But that's why Wolverine was there. And say, hey, hit this book with some adrenaline. Get it off to the races. Let's see here. But yeah, that's why I tell people all the time, man. You got to make the thing. If you don't make you have to make the thing because you can't wait on people to give you the thing. It's not gonna happen. You are, I will be the first one to tell you, you're on a fool's errand if you wait. We have to make the thing. We have to create the thing. It has to be a FUBU situation. It's a FUBU situation. We have to make the thing ourselves in order for it to be viable sometimes. And even then, sometimes maybe not. What we got in the Discord? What we got in the Discord, Carter? What we got? What we got in there?
They're in the show notes.
My man. Let's go. Let's see. First question from Q Doma. Says, greetings, Blerd and Carter. Hope all is good. My question is, how did the word Hotep end up getting the connotation that it has now? I get it as an Egyptian word with multiple meanings, but it is often used as a negative thing where a negative thing here when talking about a type of black person. How did we get to this point? So, it's funny you ask. So the reason why Hotep became a negative is because, generally speaking, a lot of the people who, like, I think initially there were people who self-identified as hoteps, like before it took a negative connotation. And usually, to my understanding, and I could be completely misremembering the facts here, but to my understanding, I always felt like early days hoteps, before, you know, it became a negative thing, it was generally just a way to describe someone just being pro-black, or being pro knowing about their roots and their heritage, their African heritage, so on and so forth, acknowledging that heritage unapologetically. But then you started getting people, it's kind of like how, you know, when you have a thing that everyone's enjoying and then the wrong people catch on to it and then they start becoming the vocal minority. I think I feel like that's kind of what happened. They basically came in and brought with them a lot of misogyny, what is effectively misogynoir, and for all intents and purposes, they're basically making it to a point where it's more about being pro-black male, and it's, there's a lot of the whole, like, they usually mask it with talk of traditional values and shit, but let's be honest, it's just basically man first, you know, woman back here. And that's kind of where you get that hotep shit from. And I think it probably more specifically black women kind of coining that phrase to describe that type of person, for better or worse. But yeah, hoteps. Yeah, I've had my fair share of encounters with them. They are funny people. They're funny people. And when I say funny, I mean funny as in sad. Very sad. Also, shout out to Gearless Mo, who's heading out, man. We appreciate you, pimp. We appreciate you. Appreciate your love and your energy. Always out here just doing, just doing the most to help support the channel. Love you for it. But they, he left a question. Says, greetings to Earth's mightiest subscribers. And all due respect to the cleric, Blerd, the mage, Agent Carter, and the Admiral Robo.
I'm a mage?
You a mage. I figured you were going to be like the rogue so you can do the pocket sand. Pocket sand. There you go. But hope those names stick. Thank you for all you do. On to the question. Can we have enter a member of Blerd Koa name appreciation day? So I thought about this. I'm going to be honest. I think it's a great idea. However, there's one problem. And it's largely going to have to do with me. So actually, I think I found a little bit of a workaround for this. Where it could actually be done. And it's something that I'm seriously considering making it like a regular thing. And oddly enough, it's funny that we were literally just talking about supporting the channel and whatnot. But I was thinking about what if we did a thing where instead of singling out one person, the reason why I don't want to single out any one person is because I don't want to create the illusion of favoritism, especially if I have a difficult time remembering who I nominated or who I picked the last time. So, like, one of the things that kind of came to mind, and actually, Robo was one who kind of pointed this one out to me. We could do it a couple of different ways. We could either do it where it's voted by the community, like maybe I put out a community post every month that says, hey, who do you see? Trying to see who everyone's nominating for, that person, or maybe do it in the Discord or something like that. And then we have everybody just kind of take the people. Actually, that's a lot more work. No, scratch that. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to take the people who have been the most supportive. Like I'm going to find one of those Streamlab things that basically shows like, hey, these are the top 5, people who've, done this or whatever. Like we'll probably have different metrics. Maybe have one for like top chatters, top donators, top this, top that. Maybe we'll do something like that. I think that might be a little more viable and it's less work for me. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's left up to me, and if I have to pick a person, y'all might see the same person like 2 months in a row just because I forget. The mind is not the steel trap it once was. But it is something that I'm definitely taking into consideration. I think we'll probably do a variation of it. I think. Well, no, that's why we said it has to be the top 5 because it would literally be Gearless Mo every month. We can't have it. It would literally be Gearless Mo every month. That's why I said it would have to be like the top 5. That actually, I've actually paid attention to it. It actually shifts significantly sometimes, depending on just what month it is. Let's see here. Oh, let me get that one as well. I'm also going through and pinning any, because I will say we are at that point where if you want a question answered, you should probably put it in the chat now while I'm actively looking. I have one pinned already. Let's see, we got another one here. You want to take this one, Carter?
Sure. This one is from the boy Trap God Thanos. I'm not saying that first part. You know. He said that he is back in his toxic era again. Who do you guys think has the most annoying / toxic fan base in comics? To keep it simple, I'm gonna narrow it down to just the big 2. That don't mean indie fans are saints. I'm looking at you, Invincible fans.
Ooh.
It's gotta go to Spider-Man fans for me. The way they become fake progressive to hate on a run is inspirational. They're calling Zeb Wells' run racist for its handling of POC characters, and that may be true, but I'm not trying to hear that from the same people who call Miles everything but the hard R when he debuted. Oh, now y'all care about POC characters. Ooh, I can't stand their ass. Almost as much as I can't stand these lazy ass trifling motherfuckers who don't get these likes up. Thanks.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I am inclined to agree because you know what? Yeah, I have seen those same the same people who insultingly refer to Miles Morales as Peter Darker. Or talking shit about Miles Morales are the same people trying to put the cape on for how a POC character is being treated in a book. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, stop.
For me, this is easy. Trap God Thanos, I'm gonna add another one to your Spider-Man fan pick, just because I hadn't heard of comic writers getting death threats before I'd heard that Dan Slott was getting death threats for superiors. I had never heard. I didn't realize that shit was that serious up until I started back into like dipping my toes in the comics and stuff like that again with Superior Spider-Man. I had never heard of some shit like that. I remember when you remember Robbie Reyes' first book. It was All New Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I remember I was in Comics and Collectibles, Ernie, and I see this fucking dude refer to it as Hispanime, and that just bugged me. And then he started talking about how Dan Slott, he thinks Dan Slott was coming to Memphis for one of the Memphis Comic Expos or something, and he was talking about how he was going to swing on him for Superior Spider-Man. And then I just looked at, I'm like, no, you're not. You just, and now this was a younger me, so I do apologize for what I said, but I was just more so like, your little white ass ain't gonna do nothing, because if I'm there and you swing at him, nigga, I'm gonna swing at you. And then he just looked at me, and then he just walked off and just kind of scoffed at it, because like that was the goofiest shit I had ever heard about some comic books, and I did not mean to take this long.
No. Just it's
most annoying, most toxic. Go.
Oh, X-Men. I think X-Men has a very toxic fandom. Very toxic. And here's the thing, on both sides. Like, I'm not like there's a light side and a dark side, and it's like there's a toxic positivity aspect and a toxic negativity aspect to it. Though I almost wanted to agree I do agree that Spider-Man is. If for those like, yeah, if you've never heard people say terms like Peter Darker or calling him the the N-word Spider-Man or N-word man, then go be glad because that's strictly a young Ripper thing.
I've got that on say X-Men was his runner-up.
Well, and here's and you know what? Honestly, I actually, ooh man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I normally don't censor myself. I normally don't censor myself in my videos. I mean, you know, outside of like when I say the word like fuck, but like I actually am kind of getting away from that because I just don't care anymore. But when I say censor myself, I mean censor myself in the sense that like I say something in a video and I cut it out because I feel like I'm being too mean to like a certain group of people. If you saw my most recent video for X-Men #2, I actually cut out an entire 5-minute rant from that video. And it was from towards the end. You could probably tell where I cut it out. But I cut it out because I realized, I was like, you know what? I was like, let me be quiet. Because I was like, because for one, it's not going to change anything. But like, I was just literally getting irritated with X-Men fans because like, I'm not going to lie, man. Sometimes y'all be making me like, y'all make my stomach hurt. Like, but just, it was, you know, people complaining about what they don't have anymore or, you know, complaining about, you know, silly shit versus people complaining about wokeness. It's like, it's two different things being complained about, but they're both fucking annoying. It's so annoying to me. Like, and just how, you know, people will talk so bad about like a creative team for like an X book just because they didn't do the like. Here's the thing. I know, yes, I've been hypercritical about teams, you know, team composition lately. Yeah, I've been cooking the Ultimates for being the vanillas. I give them a little more credit this week because they came out with the Moana Hulk. They finally put out they unleashed their She-Hulk who happens to be Polynesian. So I was like, okay, y'all now got a little more caramel. Y'all got a little more caramel in the vanillas. But here's the thing. One thing I've had to come to accept is that, and it didn't really come to mind until I started talking to some other people who have worked on some books where the teams have been kind of egregiously white, is that, here's the thing. You're putting the characters on there that you care about. I don't think that it's incumbent upon anyone to put characters in their books that they don't like or don't know how to write. So, I mean, that's fair. It's just sad to me that it's the case sometimes. So that's why you wind up with teams that are default white. And I mean, yeah, I know some of those characters are really popular, but yeah, at the same time, I've kind of gotten to this point where I'm just like, oh, I'm so fucking tired. I don't even care anymore. And the people that get mad about every single little thing, I'm just like, look, I don't have it in me anymore. To fight about this shit. If it is not incumbent upon me to explain the X-Men to you because you somehow only read the pretty pictures in the books back when you were a kid, so you didn't realize what they were talking about was wait here. I have it right here.
It's woke.
You didn't know that it was woke. And it's also not incumbent upon me to pull out my box of crayons and explain why maybe because that was the thing that kind of pissed me off. There were people who got really mad about how Sophie Cuckoo talked to Prodigy in the first issue of NYX. And I was trying to explain to them like what storytelling was. I said, I guarantee you, there's going to be a follow-up to this conversation and Prodigy will get his clap back. But I say you can't give the whole fucking arc in one fucking book. And that's the thing I keep trying to explain to people. And that's where the toxicity on the positive side of it comes. The positive toxicity where like, it's either, this part of the book, it rubbed me the wrong way because it's not a good look, this, that, the other, or because, you didn't like every single thing, so fuck you. It's like, okay, all right, whatever. I was like, X-Men fans are almost as bad as Star Wars fans to me. They're almost as bad as Star Wars fans.
I was going to ask you because somebody sure shit put in the chat, Jedis can be toxic too.
Yes.
And I was going to ask you, since you're more of a Star Wars guy than I am, how they are in comparison to
Oh,
X-Men and Spider-Man.
whew. Dude, Star Wars fans are fucking terrible. Honestly, I've
only been introduced to them because of the new trilogy, but you've been watching that shit for years. So.
Yeah, no, I'm to a point now. I don't even like telling, like when I'm out and about and I hear people talk about Star Wars, I just stay quiet. I don't even bring up that I like Star Wars. I don't even bring it up. I don't even say anything. I'm just like, okay, all right. But no, that said, yeah, that's my thing with that. I guess give us a Prince of Apathy. It's Prince of Apathy. Let's see. Hello, C-Train and Blerd. HBO / Discovery canceled POC Batgirl and Cape Crusader. Did they cancel Cape Crusader?
That's news to me.
But kept the majority white Kite Man. Do either of you have thoughts? I didn't know they canceled Batman Cape Crusader. Hold on, wait a minute. I did not know about this. Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on. Wait a minute.
That's what I've been trying to look up. Like, what are you talking about?
Wait. Hold the phone. Projects that were done by Batman Cape Crusader was one of the projects unceremoniously canceled by Warner Bros. Discovery Management with Prime. No, they canceled it, but Prime
Amazon
still has
picked it up. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Boy, you better start doing your goddamn homework before you ask these questions.
Yeah.
You almost got swung on. But to answer your question, no, I don't have any thoughts because I don't give a rat's ass about Kite Man. I think that was a joke that should have stayed in the Tom King Bat book and it should not have spread out to the point. This shit reminds me of Morbius.
Oh yeah, the Morbin time thing.
When they thought the Morbin time thing. Okay, we can put that shit back in. That's not what that was.
And I'm gonna. Hey, you have a good one, Gabby. You take it easy, brother. Also, I might have to. I'm gonna look out for an email. I'm gonna be hitting you up here for too long. I got questions. I have questions about some things. But yeah, Elite X1. I'm gonna copy you here. Ain't nobody gonna be watching Kite Man like that. Ain't nobody checking for Kite Man. I'm sorry, it ain't happening. Sorry, not sorry. Ain't nobody checking for Kite Man. You could take that to the bank. Okay, you can take that shit to the bank. Ain't nobody checking for Kite Man. That said, let's get to our questions from the chat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a new name for them. I never thought about calling them that. That's a new name for them. Actually, I'm gonna steal this from you, Bird Nerd. I'm gonna steal this from you. I'm gonna go just let you know. The Hate Tubers. Yeah, that's their name now. That's their name now. Hate Tubers. I like that. I
do disagree though. I don't think Oswaldo was a lazy move from the writers. I liked Oswaldo. I thought that shit was funny.
You know what? So here's my thing with Oswaldo. Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you who Oswaldo was for. I'm gonna tell you who Oswaldo was for.
Mm-hmm.
Oswaldo was for people like my wife. And I say that because when I actually showed her the first episode of Batman Cape Crusader specifically, and I did not tell her that Penguin was a woman in this. I just let her find out for herself. So when we got to the part where Oswaldo first shows up, she was like, she thought that was just a woman dressed up as Penguin. And
that's what I thought, just singing in Iceberg Lounge. That's
right. That's what she thought. She thought the same shit. But when she realized that was actually Penguin, she was like, I fucking love this. She was like, this is awesome. Like, it just kind of seeing like how like she went from having like a public face to having like, this menacing mob boss face, and it's kind of cattiness is kind of how she was messing with Rupert Thorne and how she didn't give a fuck about her kids and were like just she ate that. And then when she saw all the wigs that Oswaldo had in the background she was like, I love this version of Penguin. And here's the thing. It's a different universe. It's not main continuity, so they can do whatever they want. I do agree that the statement that Bruce Timm made was probably not the best one to make, saying that there weren't any good, basically saying that there weren't really any good like female villains for Batman. I was like, there's plenty of them because you literally use 2 of them. Yeah, one of them being Harley Quinn. But and Catwoman, technically you had a 3rd one. So I was like, you have good female villains. There's other characters you could have put in there. But I feel like maybe if I was Bruce Timm, what was up?
Did Bruce Timm had nothing to do with Batman Beyond? No,
I don't know. Maybe.
If he didn't, I'm gonna shut up.
Let's see.
Something just popped into my head.
Yeah. What you thinking about?
I thought.
Yes, he did. He did.
Okay.
I mean, in so much that it was it was co-created by him. I don't think he wrote it.
Well, I just thought I thought about the episode where we see Talia al Ghul, who ended up not being Talia al Ghul. It was Ra's al Ghul in Talia's body. You could have put the real Oswald and this big white woman, and that could have been Oswald.
You're right. Yeah, it was Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, and Alan Burnett who created the series.
Yeah, but that's what popped into my head. What you mean? You literally put 2 of the villains together in one episode by putting one of them in the other one. There are several fucking villains. Was my point I was making? It's just like what you talking about, Bruce? Are you getting up there in age and then forgot?
Forgot? But Bruce Timm, he was definitely credited. He's credited with the creation, but I don't think he wrote any of the episodes. Though he does have opinions about Batman Beyond.
Xylism saying none of us said hell yeah to a Kite Man series.
No, 100%. I didn't say it. You didn't say it. We didn't say it. Did anybody here say it? Because I didn't say it. I didn't ask for Kite Man.
That dude that come to your house all the time for like get-togethers. He got that one joke that made y'all laugh y'all ass off that one time. But that's his go-to joke now because y'all laughed y'all ass off the first time.
One time.
So every time he comes to House Carruthers, you know that joke coming. And if you try to finish that joke before he said on some, we know, bro.
We know.
You're going to get a mean look the rest of the part.
It's like we've heard this one before. We've heard this one. But no, I'm gonna go ahead and run. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and run down. Let's go ahead and run down our. Here we're gonna let's swap to that. Let's swap to that. We're in questions from the chat. I got a few already, or technically, sort of, kind of, not really. Let's go ahead and do it. We are gonna start with Jonathan Schwinn. It says, question, who should play Blue Marvel in the MCU? I mean, my stance on it has largely not changed. I think I even kind of talked about this not too terribly long ago. But there's a guy who I think is perfect. I think he's perfect for it. And you can disagree if you like, but until I see it happen, this is going to be my vote, and it's always going to be Father. Mr. Abu Bakar Salim is the man's name. That's my dude. That's my dude right there. So, Father all day, every day. That's who. That's me. That's me. That's my choice. That's the one. And largely it was because of his acting. He's such a good actor, and I'm actually really sad that he had to fold his game studio because that game Tales of Kenzera was off the chain. Let's see what else we got. We also got a quick interjection. And then Carter, see who you think. should be. But we got a super chat here from Tony Guzman with the 1999 super chat. It says happy Saturday. We thank you for that. Carter, who you got for a Blue Marvel?
We keep getting this question, and I always forget who I say. So at this point, I don't care who they pick. If I just let me see him in a movie, just let me see him in something. Because I'm
about to say, first off, they have to even address that he's in the MCU first.
Yeah,
so.
You know what I mean. So like that's where I'm at with it. Let me see him in something first, and then we can go from there. Like the Doctor Doom shit. We know who we got, and let me tell you who you could have picked. Let me tell you who you should have picked. So that's where I'm at with it.
Next question is from C.E. Rouse. Says, what's that book next to your Wolverine glizzy mask?
So it's since you were just talking about Philip Kennedy Johnson. This is a fantasy book. This is a fantasy thing that
is
Philip
that the
Kennedy
novel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a novel with art. It's called The Wildfire Chronicles from Philip Kennedy Johnson. This was one of the things that, in order for him to go to DC, they had to let him be able to do this fantasy story that he wanted to do, and it's not done. That he just hasn't started the second half of it.
Gotcha.
Really, really dope world building, just fantasy dragons, evil monster entities. Reading this was pretty funny because you can see some of his character designs in the War World stuff.
Gotcha.
Because I don't think he thought he would have been able to get this out, but then because like literally Superman's outfit that you saw that they made the joke that was in Lois' closet, one of the main characters is rocking that bitch in this. But yeah, This is called the Wildfire Chronicles. That is what I'm going to do my recommended sit on my patio and continue to read today. 12 issues. I'm about halfway done with it. It is a good one. I got to finish that, and I also got to finish Department of Truth, though.
Oh, yeah. I do. Thank you for reminding me. We got, we also got another one here, too. We got from Gabriel the Dark Knight says, happy Saturday, Ernie Carter, Blerd Cave. Been catching the show while cleaning up after the tropical storm. Ooh, yeah, man. Ooh, I hope y'all were safe down there. Just wanted to show support. Hopefully y'all were staying safe because, dude, tropical storm ain't nothing to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Not by a long shot, but just the same. Thank you for that. 1999 super chat. Let's see. We have also got. Oh man, we got a friend of the channel, Captain Diesel. Says, question: how much faith do you have in James Gunn's DCEU or the DCU? I have a lot of faith. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to do good. I know that James Gunn cares about doing something more comic book accurate. So, I'm in just based on that. The fact that he had the balls to put Mr. Terrific in a Superman movie, that tells me everything I need to know. The fact that he had the balls to put Guy Gardner, not Hal Jordan, but Guy Gardner in Superman Legacy. He's putting Hawk Girl in it. I don't know how true this is, but I mean, there's been some hints that we might even be getting some crime syndicate universe shit going on. The fact that he's willing to. And this isn't a surprise for James Gunn. He's always willing to lean into more the more silly, or I won't say silly, but the more out there aspects of comics. Yeah, I have faith in him. I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be perfect. And here's what I want to make sure people don't go into this thinking. Because I think this was also the problem with the DCEU. Granted, most of the movies are trash. But even for the ones that were good, they never held up, because, or at least they never held up for a lot of people because so many people just kept comparing it to the MCU. And it's like, here's the thing. I think the DCU should just choose to be different. I mean, yes, it's going to be compared because of the nature of what it is, but I feel like the DCU should just do what they do best, not try to do what Marvel does best, which is where Warner Brothers fucked up with the DCEU. They were trying to copy Marvel's homework instead of trying to copy their own homework. Or whatever. That said, Carter, do you have any, how are your faith levels? What are your faith levels looking like?
I enjoyed his Suicide Squad. I enjoyed Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanna enjoy his Superman, and then I'll tell you about the rest of it. The rest of it, because looking at what we got from Snyder to this day, Man of Steel still puts me to fucking sleep. I have never finished that fucking movie. It always puts me down. So I just want to be able to enjoy a Superman movie. And then let's see what else you got working. Let's see what else you got.
Yeah. It's man. I don't know, man. I'm all over the place with it. I'm all over the place with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I have faith. Let's see here. We got another one here. This one, we actually got two from you. Let's see which one I think is the better one. Let's go with this one because it's kind of on brand for what we were talking about earlier. G. Martinez Max says, how does this practice pushing back / hiding or delaying otherwise developed and potentially very marketable characters of color in comics stifle the potential popularity of black characters? This is what it does. It gives an impression like, and this is kind of my beef with Ultimates when it was first announced. Because Denise Camp said that there was more diversity on the team. It's just that they haven't shown those characters. I was like, well, then just show them. Why are we hiding the fact that there are diverse characters in this team behind a timed release? Because one or two things crosses my mind when I see that. Either A, you're trying to make sure white people are buying the book, so you don't want to scare them off by having, a couple of, coloreds popping up in the book, making, because once again, the rule of three is true. Dwayne McDuffie's rule of three has never been more true before than it is today. If you show a superhero team and it has 2 or 3 black people on it, that's the perception that the book is black. Just is what it is. But that said, I feel like, when you hide that type of representation, or that you say, oh, we're going to come out with this, but we're going to wait till February. Oh, we're going to put out a black book, but it's going to be in Black History Month. We're going to put out DC Power. There you go. We did our due diligence. Carter know what I'm talking about. Hey, we put out DC Power. Y'all good? Y'all good?
Don't get me started. That shit makes me so mad.
Oh my god. What was that? Was that 3? I think that was 3, right? Yeah, it was 3.
Yeah, that was 3. I'm annoyed, but that was 3.
That was 3. We got Tully Vision here with another one. Says, question. Thoughts on the actor from Cobra Kai to play Miles Morales? I'm going to assume that you're talking about the young brother on the cast, because he's he's really the only black character of any problem. Was it Dallas Dupree Young? That guy? Is that what we're talking about? I like that guy. Have you know what I'm talking about, right, Carter?
No.
Here, I'll show you. Here.
I see Elite asking the kid who shit his pants, so I don't know if I want this little brother to be Miles Morales.
But yeah,
okay. See, I could see. When I'm hearing the animated, the newer movies, that's who.
Right. This is the energy. Because let's be real, it's a good and grown ass man playing that young Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse movies. So he ain't playing Miles Morales in nobody's
and
anything.
Something I said ages ago. If they were to make those movies canon with the current MCU, like somehow he came to a different universe, and like all
Right.
this is something I've said on older Blerd Caves. But if they do the Secret Wars things, they could bring the Miles in the 2 animated movies we have. Something happens, they have to bring him to the real world live action. I could see that animated Miles turning into that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shamik Moore's grow, but he's short. Oh my lord. Has he ever recovered from that gaffe he made in 2020? Did he ever recover from that?
I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't heard about him since that. Nobody really talks about him.
Yeah, because I remember. I don't know if y'all remember. So basically, he talked a little ish. He talked a little ish. In regards, I think it was like there was something going on with like I think it was around the time I think that all the George Floyd stuff was popping off. I think that was actually like roughly in and around the time that it happens. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he ever recovered from that. I know when they were doing press tours for Across the Spider-Verse, he was oddly in the background for voicing the main character. Like he was doing.
What if they made the live action Miles that kid from TikTok? That NPC shit. What if they made it that dude?
Oh no, I'm good. Thanks for the glizzy. Hey. Thanks for the glizzy. Anyway. Anywho. I'm looking up, I don't see any more, so you know what? I'm gonna say that's that on that, because we are, we've been at this a while. So, I'll just say it here. We are, let's see, what do we got? Did I catch up on? Yeah, I caught up on all those. So yeah, I'm just gonna say it here, if you're wondering where the X Factor #1 video is, I'm wrestling with that one. Not from more from an editing standpoint, because I don't do this all the time, but sometimes when I don't know if a lot of y'all probably don't know this, I don't really script my videos very much. And in this one, I was just kind of talking. And some of my thoughts were all over the place, so I've basically been editing it to put everything in a nice, neat little package, so to speak. But I'll be working on that today, and I'll try and have it up soon, I promise. Also, I will say, here's something. I want to go back a little bit. Because I know one of y'all was asking about, how can I read this? How can I read, this, that, and the third? Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. If for whatever reason, if you're not familiar, there is, now this book isn't on there yet. I just want to, full disclosure on that part of it. But like, if you ever if you can't get to a comic shop and get certain books, or you just don't have the time or the bandwidth to go like looking through comics, one thing that you can do is you can go to globalcomics.com or go to the Global Comics app that is on iOS and Android. If you do that, you can actually get, first you can buy digital comics there, but you also can use their subscription service, and it gives you access to everything. If you do I think they do like a 1-year subscription, and it's normally like $89, but I think right now they're doing a deal for $79. But if you use my promo code, that is in the, it should be in the description for this video. I will say I'll put this over on the Twitch side as well. If you do that, you'll get 33% off your 1 year subscription, and they have a lot of comics in there. There's no Marvel or DC stuff, but they do have stuff from like Oni Press, Vault Comics, Image Comics, Boom Studios, Dynamite Comics, and they tend to keep it pretty updated. So you might not get everything the exact day of. Sometimes it might be like the next day or maybe the day after that or something like that. But I don't, because I think the most recent issue of Transformers is not on there yet, but the previous 10 issues are. So yeah, it's not a bad way to read comics. Not a bad way to read comics at all. I actually quite enjoy it because you can do your panel by panel view and whatnot and what have you. You'll probably hear me talking about it a lot more going forward. Because I guess technically, why am I keeping this a secret? I'm technically partnered with Global Comics, so there's that. But yeah, that is something that I would highly recommend. Not just because I'm partnered with them, but also because I use it. That is what I use. But for those of you who are on the Twitch side, I'm gonna drop that in there. There's the thing. You can go get it there. That said, I don't think I have any other announcements. Carter, do you have anything you want to announce?
No.
I always ask though, just in case. Also, real quick, Detrick Morton out here with the 5 says I recommend Daniel Gillies Dr. Doom. Daniel Gillies for Dr. Doom last week. He needs a second chance in Marvel after MJ left him at the altar in Spider-Man 2. I mean, look, I'm not against it. But that said, I think, yeah, we're out of here. We're done. Thank you all so much. And make sure before you head out, if you've not done so already, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you all next time. So for Carter Presents, I am the Blur Without Fear. Whoo! And the Crow remake, you can go to hell.